Zombified.
The monsters are living under your bed, 'cause they are the voices in your head. Zombified by the lies they said, we've become the walking dead. 'Cause everybody's on an edge. Oh no, they'll never let go. Something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you. And they won't stop till everybody's zombified. They're bumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. We're dead inside. Goes on and on, let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're hypnotized. And they won't stop till you're zombified. Shut your mouth and bite your tongue, 'cause you don't wanna piss off anyone. We're traumatized by the damage done. Welcome to America. 'Cause everybody's on an edge. Oh no, they'll never let go. Something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you. And they won't stop till everybody's zombified. They're bumping us with lies like it's formaldehyde. We're dead inside. It goes on and on, let this go. When it stops, we'll never know. We're hypnotized. And they won't stop till you're
Zombified. Zombified.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my own bleeding. Cut my life into pieces. I've reached my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. Do you even care if I die bleeding? Would it be wrong, would it be right? If I took my life tonight, chances are that I might. Mutilation out of sight. And I contemplated suicide. Cause I'm losing my side, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. Losing my side, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine.
Welcome to the new era of the IWC. You want a place where you can be you? Do you love stories and long-term booking? Well, you have come to the right place. Hosted by your longest-reigning IWC Intercontinental Champ, 1/3 of the IWC Trios Champ, 1/2 of the IWC Tag Team Champ, and your IWC Undisputed Heavyweight Champ. So grab your beverages and your snacks. And like BiggOh says, if you got it, spark it!
You're muted, Otis.
Welcome to the Big O wrap up, everybody, baby.
Welcome to the batch of clowns.
Yeah, the batch of clowns. Welcome to the watch segment. Man, what's good, everybody, man? Welcome to the Big O wrap up, man. Y'all know who it is, your boy, Big O.
Big O.
Here, Cooper and Future. And down here, y'all know who he is. It is Mr. Dakota Kayfabe himself, the mid-most smart German. What's good, gentlemen? How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good.
Hey, what crazy weekend we had with this draft. And we're going to cover a little bit of that. I kind of want to get you guys' opinions. And, of course, Hologram will be here a little bit later on. He's out getting lunch right now, but he will be here. I want to get you guys' opinions on the subtle changes that happened during the draft. We're going to go over that. We're going to talk about GYV, Grizzly Young Veterans, and their collision debut on AEW in a fantastic match against the Acclaim. The Acclaim
was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
We're going to talk about that. Also, more AEW news. We're going to also get into Darby Allin. What the hell is
Who gets hit by a bus, really? Honestly.
Apparently Darby.
The bus said, off!
That dude was probably still skateboarding with a broken foot and then skateboarded into traffic.
Okay.
Guaranteed. That's probably what happened.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'll definitely go with that. But we'll talk about that. We all know that Darby Allin is a daredevil. So, and it looks like I don't think his Mount Everest climb is ever going to happen. Because setback after setback after setback after setback. Jesus, Darby.
I mean, the broken nose is probably only the beginning of it, but who knows at this point.
It's like AEW is stuck in the mud, and I would like to elaborate on that a little bit later.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and get right into it. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, press that bell for all notifications, and make sure you are there to keep your people aware so you'll be notified when we do go live.
Otis, are you on a computer?
I am on a computer.
Why don't you try unplugging your mic and plug it back in, bro? It's like really staticky. We can barely hear you.
Sounding like he's in a fishbowl or something. I don't know how I sound.
It, everybody. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Jump on everybody else's pages. The mid-mo. Where's he at? Down here. Down here, baby. This guy, baby. It's weird because everything's backwards to how I'm looking at it versus what I do. All right, Otis will be joining us for the wrap up here in a second. Hopefully he gets his audio figured out there.
Yeah, I don't know what the buzzing is all about. It has never done this up until now.
Maybe is your screen too close to the mic? I don't know.
No,
No, the baffles the screen.
it's not close. I can have it out here. I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
know.
it was getting feedback from your headphones or something.
And it's weird because it really has never done that. So
Hey,
I think
we're in now, buddy.
okay. All right, we're good. It might be the cord back here or whatever or something. It might be tangled up, but anyways. What'd you say, Jeremy? Anyways, I apologize for that. But can't even hear Jeremy. But now
I think he's just trolling.
What's
Hey,
up,
I got some
Guardian?
in the oven. I'll be right back. Something in the oven. Be right back.
Go ahead. What up, Guardian, man? Good to see you, man. Hey, enjoy your dinner, man. Enjoy your dinner. My bro Rob is up in here. The Lucha Bruv. Your bagpipes. Oh, crap. My boy Patrick Palmer. Jen is up in here. Blake is up in here, man. Clone Force, man. Everybody's up in here, man. The whole Bebe family, OTS family, TSP family. We are representing up in here today, y'all. So we're going to talk about. I want to talk about Darby Allin a little bit more because, first it was a broken foot. Now he got hit by a bus. Like, Darby, what are you trying to do, bro? I need to know, what are you trying to do? Like, do you want to climb Mount Everest or not? Because if you do, then you need to go sit your ass down and heal up and get better. Now if you don't feel like it, then just go sit down and come back to AEW TV. That's what I say. Jeremy, you are you here? Nope. I cannot hear you. I could definitely read your lips, so I know I can't hear you. But
all right,
while Jeremy is getting his audio issues figured out, I'm gonna shoot over here to Future. Future say he wants to talk about AEW a little bit. Since we are
to talk about Darby, this is the same guy that was jumping cars over houses. So I mean, this guy he's kind of a reckless dude. But to expand on what I was going to say, the injury plague that is AEW. What was the biggest story coming through the end of the year? It was going to be who the devil was, MJF, Adam Cole. Yep. They're both on the shelf. Story's dead. Who even knows what's going on? Jamie Hayter's been out for a year.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Adam Cole. Okay.
Welcome to the technical difficulty podcast today.
Hey, Jen, that's the name I was looking for. Darby Knievel. Darby Knievel. That's the one I was looking for. But
even his coffin drop finisher is kind of a reckless move also, because it's kind of a blind fall.
It really is. But I was thinking more like Adam Cole, at Dynasty, he got up out of his chair and walked to the ring. So maybe he's more close to being cleared. We'll probably see him in the ring before we see Mercedes in the ring. Okay. So
I mean, it's not that AEW has a shortage of talent. It's just that right now it's just kind of all the top dogs are kind of out. We'll see what happens when Kenny Omega's on Dynamite tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll be on Rob's channel for that because I actually have the day off tomorrow. Did not realize it. So yeah, I'll be on the Dynamite watch along with Rob tomorrow. Rob, if you listen, breaking news. But the injury bug that known as AEW, they need to. I hope everybody comes back healthy. And
testing. Can you hear me?
There you go, Jeremy. There you go, Jeremy.
Hey. Okay.
So, which makes me think: is it something that is just fundamentally different about AEW that that everybody gets hurt so often, or like what's the deal? Like
You know,
injuries are happening in WWE also, but it seems like it's like a plague there. Like
exactly. Like, do you see how many people is in an arm brace over the past couple of weeks? Well, you know, it's weird. It's crazy. Like we seen Joaquin Wild, he had an arm. No, it wasn't Joaquin Wild. It was Cruz del Toro who had the arm brace on. It was who else? Who else? Who else? Rhea Ripley. Of course, we know about what happened to Punk, but Punk is more close to coming back, I'm assuming. And everybody's just hurting their arms. It's just one limb, but Jesus, AEW, everybody's out for multiple different reasons, and it's really crazy. And I know,
and now supposedly, remember they said that they need permission to do apron spots, and it's like, hopefully,
yeah,
like,
yeah, but I've seen.
I mean,
I've seen a lot of
it's
crazy
ran.
aprons though.
I'm sorry.
You good?
I was gonna say it's ran little better than a mud show right now, so it's like, yeah, just go out there, do whatever the fuck you want. You know?
I wanna bounce that off to the bro from the Mo. I know we talked about this about a couple of months ago about AEW and they you know the way how the injury bug that they've been bitten by and stuff, and the spots that they take for certain moves and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can understand Darby to a degree because he's just a natural daredevil with the spots that he does and the injuries that he takes and he accepts. But when we talking about somebody like a Jamie Hayter or I guess I could take Adam Cole off of that list because I guess you could say it appears that he is ready to come back. And then we look at somebody like Mercedes Moné, who is not even cleared yet to compete. And I'm gonna say it again. I think we'll see Adam Cole in the ring before we see Mercedes Moné. Um, and then we look at the other injury. Like, how can Tony Khan prevent these injuries from plaguing them again massively, like they have been so far? Jeremy,
You're asking me. Okay.
Yeah, he said he's throwing it to you, buddy.
Well, he just kept going, so I was like, anything. Anyway, what Otis said, we had talked several weeks ago. We've all heard me say this, that AEW needs to better prioritize their spots and how they put together their matches, and they have a certain direction how they normally want to go, but they always have in a lot of the luchador matches and specifically Ring of Honor, but a lot of the younger talent specifically, they probably feel like they have something to prove. And with these big spots like Dante Martin specifically, him and Pentagon, he was probably itching to do that destroyer onto those tables. So, I mean, it just goes to, real glass future. It goes into the idea that they're not really considering the long-term result if things go bad, how long they're going to be taken off of TV, and what kind of program they're in at that given time. Who knows what's going to happen to him, especially Dante. He probably was thinking everything was going to be fine until his foot was flipped around the other way. They need to better prioritize their spots so that they are more impactful to the audience, for one, whenever they happen, but for two, so they limit their own risk for injury.
that's what we've been saying all this time, and hopefully Tony Khan, he can hear this and he takes heed in that, because one thing we don't need is more big stars to be off of TV. We don't even know what Kenny Omega is going to say tomorrow. Is he just going to be back just for a health update? Is
Who
he
just
I had
doesn't
a
have
weird
diverticulitis?
I had a
Well, yeah.
weird fucking dream last night that I was backstage at some event and he showed up and I was like, "Holy shit, you're ready to go?" And he was like, "Shh,
Then he put you in the chicken wing.
you shut your dirty horn mouth, future."
Well, hopefully, hey, we just gotta wait until tomorrow to see what Kenny Omega says. I've already made a prediction that he'll be back at All In. Now, a lot of people are trying to book Swerve and Osprey for the world title at All In. And I believe it's probably going to be. Oh man, I just really don't know. Would you get what Kenny Omega, Cody Ibushi versus the Bucks for the AEW tag titles? And All In.
Could be
You know,
interesting, but I wonder what kind of timetable Ibushi's got before he's ring ready again.
yeah. See, he's another one. So it's the injuries have really bit AEW pretty hard. Now they just started kind of biting WWE to a degree. You know, we had Charlotte go out, we had Punk go out, we had of course now you got a couple people tag teams, not Ivar but Eric from the War Raiders, whatever, or War Machine. I wish they'll go back to War Machine. You got
Which
Eric.
congrats to him and Sarah Logan. They're pregnant with their next kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to them.
Liv's the
Raising
only
another
hot one. Liv's the only odd one out because apparently since Ruby's pregnant and now Sarah's pregnant, what's up? What's up with that whole dynamic?
the Riot Squad. Yeah,
Riot
yeah, that's
Squad's
right.
all getting knocked
That's
up.
right. What?
Getting,
So
the club's
what's
getting
wrong?
shot up in the Riot Squad.
What's wrong with Liv? Liv would have been before Liv did, and that's crazy.
I think
Alexa
you were
Bliss
breaking
got
up for a
popped
second.
before. Uh, um, Alexa Bliss got popped before Liv Morgan did. To me, that's kind of crazy. Yes, Alexa Bliss is a hottie. She's more of the cheerleader hottie. Liv is more like the girl next door hottie. And it
Well, I
just
mean,
in a way.
if I can interject, I mean, I say she's the odd one out, but then last night, I mean, she showing off her slutty side, walking out that corridor office, and then Dom comes out just a couple seconds
Yeah,
after.
I did see that.
Oh, she
See
going
that.
after that Latino heat, buddy.
Somebody probably joked around about a few weeks ago, about a month ago, here on the channel, and said that Liv is going to be the new mommy, which would literally turn Rhea Ripley the ultimate baby face when she comes back.
Yeah, she
And
was
Once
already going to be into that territory
dirt
whenever she came back
benches.
anyway.
yeah,
Everybody was going to
exactly.
be so everybody was going to be so elated whenever she comes back. So it's going to be hard to, even if she was trying to be a heel at that point, it would be so hard to get past that babyface reaction. So
Oh,
yeah,
and Triple H is one that listens to the people, and when the crowd reacts, Triple H is going to act upon crowd reaction. It might be something planned for Rhea when she come back, but that ovation is going to make Triple H put pen to paper and change a few things. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. I know we jumped to the WWE news, but let's hop back over to AEW. Talk about the grizzled young veterans.
GYV.
Let me. It was so good to see them on TV. Oh my goodness, it was so good to see them on TV, man. I miss seeing them in tag team action, man.
Now, where I think
Am I
their booking could have been a little bit better and not against the Acclaimed, that was still a relatively decent match for their debut.
It was, and I I don't want to say that this was a WWE debut type match, but I feel like
Jen's
GYV
like,
should have.
who?
I prefer that if GYV had won their tag team match against the Acclaim, get them established. I know they're coming out with their own wrestling promotion. I did not hear what they was going to call it, but I know it's
I think it
over in
was
England and stuff.
Braveheart something, or let me check.
Okay. But I was happy to see them on TV. It was a great match that they had with the Acclaim. Acclaim wins. Future, do you see GYV making a big splash in AEW?
It's going to depend on if they decide to put that emphasis back in the tag team division.
I agree.
AW, 2 years ago, the tag team division was so damn hot. They introduced the trios titles. Are they even Are they even a thing? I couldn't tell you who has the trios titles.
It is the Bang Bang Gang. They have the
Do they have
the
the trio title, or do they have the Ring of Honor 6-man championship?
They've got both of them. They've tried.
Oh, they
They've
got both of them now?
unified those titles, even though they're carrying around two sets.
Okay.
Their promotion in Liverpool, out of Liverpool, is called Burning Heart Wrestling.
Cool.
Burning Heart Wrestling. Okay. Hopefully it be well, I don't know what the chances of that being televised, but you probably have to go find that on some streaming platform. But
I'm
I'm
sure they'll
curious
be
to see
picked up by
what
like Fight.
Well, because
Yeah,
that's what Vince McMahon was famous for. He didn't like the tag team because he's like, why am I going to pay 4 guys to be in the ring when I can just pay 2 guys?
Right. The
And
emphasis
so,
on tag team wrestling was just gone for a long time.
I just got a scary feeling, and I know Future just mentioned it. I know Hologram mentioned it. I know JD mentioned it. But AEW, their titles, they are almost paperweights because they almost mean nothing. These trios titles, I'm assuming Tony Khan wants to do a WWE move with these trio titles, unify them, make one set of trios titles, and go back and forth between Ring of Honor and AEW.
Fuck, I hope. I mean, they need to do
I'm-
something more logical with them.
That's why I have a scary feeling. Tony Khan is, good Lord, knock on wood. Tony Khan is literally turning into a mini me Vince McMahon. with his
I want
book.
to see at least one women's match per hour, not per show.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm tired of the token women's match.
Shit.
Yeah.
Future.
Look-
I mean, we saw 20 total minutes of wrestling on Friday night, this past Friday. 20 total minutes where Swerve and who'd he face this week?
Shit.
Now it's gonna bother me.
Kyle
Fletcher.
Fletcher. He wrestled
Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
That in itself was the duration of the length of matches, all that took place on Friday. That in
Yep.
itself. And like that irritates the fuck out of me. Because why even watch? Like WWE is so focused on the theatrics of everything. We've seen drafts go one night, one single night, maybe 2 if you want to go, if they wanted to take it to SmackDown too. But generally, it always happened on one night on Raw, and then it was over.
Well,
And now
then
we've
it was
got
always
2
TM
consecutive
coming out.
weeks of 4 shows where they're dictating where the talent's going to go.
Yeah.
And that, like last night, I need to check and see how much total wrestling there was last night on Raw. But I mean, I know it was significantly more. But I mean, what AEW, the amount of actual professional wrestling that they are putting out on their TV, on their programming is exponentially higher than what WWE is trying to do. So
Yeah.
they're more focused on the theatrics, and AEW is focused on the wrestling. So I mean, there is a clear black and white difference of what everybody is doing. Like, yes, the theatrics are meant to get you over in a very different way, and WWE is a very good facilitator of that. But at the same time, they are they're taking a step away from their actual bread and butter product to make it more of a pomp and circumstance, and that's not necessarily what they need. So I don't know. My opinion.
I feel I'm kind of on the same way for the theatrics when it comes to WWE, because now that the times are different, the times have changed with Vince being gone, and I believe Triple H is about wrestling, but he doesn't want to veer too far off the product's, aesthetics, as far as, their presentation on what they're doing. As, for example, the WWE Draft, or when you get something like Raw 25 or something like that, like special events and stuff like that. They're definitely going to go out for all of that, especially with the production. AEW is more focused on the wrestling aspect because they want to give the fans straight wrestling. And Triple H wants to give the fans straight wrestling too. It's just Triple H also wants to incorporate what WWE has been since forever, but he just wants to make it better. And I do still believe. Listen, Tony Khan could be the same way. He can focus on the aspects, but I think I don't know who said it in the chat on X. I don't know if it was Rob or Future or Julio or Jeremy, but AEW has a loaded roster of extreme talented
Oh, they're
wrestlers
stacked for sure.
stacked to the top. But I've always said with them bringing in new wrestlers, now Tony Khan got to focus on this new wrestler that's coming in. Like we talked about Allie. Tony Khan now has to focus on bringing her in. You still got to focus on Mercedes Moné, who's not cleared yet. You still got to kind of focus on Okada and Ospreay, who is taken off in AEW. And then Will Hobbs is getting a little piece here and a little piece there. Moxley, he's an IWGP World Champion. You're featuring another company's title more than your AEW World Champion. What the fuck is that, TK?
Yeah, that could have been structured. That entire show could have had the same shit on it, but structured just ever so slightly differently. Most of the mid card and all the women's matches could have maintained their positions in the spots on the card, but Swerve needed to go on first, the first Dynamite, and say his piece. What he said on Saturday, he needed to say that on Wednesday, and then at the end of the show have that eliminator match.
Yeah,
but
well, love it or hate it, who started Raw last night?
Yep,
Becky Lynch came out with the belt, new champion.
Yeah,
there are certain things that's
supposed to be done. That's exactly how it's supposed to be done. You do not leave something in, like AEW's first black world champion and have him go third or fourth in the fucking show. You don't do that shit. That was history making what he did at Dynasty. How dare you put him in the third or fourth spot of the damn show? He should be opening Dynamite.
And why, you're not allowed to pat yourself on the back about making that type of history and then bury him in page 9,
Yeah.
It's
Or even then, that was like page 3. Maybe even so. I mean, and again, I don't necessarily. I said this before on my channel. I didn't necessarily think that Swerve per se was buried by this, but or put. I don't think it necessarily made him look bad, because there's not many ways the champion can truly look bad in the grand scheme of things, unless they do something drastically stupid. Card placement is kind of irrelevant, but the fact is, with him being again a coronating inaugural first black African American champion that AEW has ever had, that should have been treated more special than what it was, for certain. Just that if you just threw around a few different things on the card, it could have made a lot more sense. It could have made you wouldn't have had to
probably not
get rid of
Swerve's
anything.
style, but when the Bucks would come out and the streamers would come down from the ceiling, there should have been, it should have been ceremonious.
Right. It should have been. It should have felt like something big, and just the continuation thereof, in a sense. But
it should have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, like say, I feel like TK has a couple weeks of listening to the fans. Like, even though he's at a point where he doesn't really like to anymore, supposedly. I have a feeling that he listens to the fans to get to just enough to maybe gaslight us enough, and then he goes back on his own course of booking and whatever. I mean, at the same time, I've also said this before, he is Mr. Pay-Per-View, and regardless, what he's thinking is, who the fuck cares how we get there? The fact is we get there, right?
He's Mr. Destination and not Mr. Journey anymore.
Right. The week-to-week shit doesn't matter to him in a sense, or if it does, it he's seeing it in a far different way than the fans are. At least that they've been led on to, like, coerced or made to feel, and then he changed it. But again, we've seen Vince to do the same shit years and years ago. So I will
Well,
say,
I mean, they had to twist his
big,
arm during the Yes movement, so
yeah. There was just no other way you could get around that big of a movement. But when it all comes down to it, you've got so many people from WWE in AEW now because Tony wants people who are wrestling centric and know generally what they're doing in the grand scheme of things of wrestling when it comes to their job or something close to that ties into their old job. But that's just making everything feel that much more WWE. And whether TK wants it to or not, it's just always going to have that feel, whether it's the production, whether it's just the similarities that we all are as fans are just seeing is in the booking, or if it's actually there. And in my opinion, yes, there is plenty of room to safely say that it looks and feels like a WWE product, but run by a different person.
Now,
And
wait a minute. I'm not going to personally go that far and say it feels like WWE product. It has some
well,
WWE.
there are aspects of it, yes. There are
Yes.
aspects of it, maybe not the whole product, but there are aspects of it that just scream WWE anytime you look at it. I mean, ask Hooley whenever he comes in. He's going to say the same shit. It's just kind of there are looks and feels to the way the booking and the presentation is going on that just screams WWE. So,
Yes. I was just going to say that the way how
I think bringing the tunnels back has kind of separated that just a little bit.
hang on. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay. Hope I didn't. Okay, I was gonna say hope I didn't lose connection because I accidentally kicked my plug. So my bad. I need a bigger table. Damn it. Okay, I need a fucking bigger table. All right. But yeah, and I agree that the tendencies with the production and their, especially the camera and stuff, they are, if they quit trying to be like WWE as far as production, I think AEW will be a little bit better. But I think they're trying to go.
How many
WWE.
people in that production truck idolize Kevin Dunn because he's been in that position for so long up until recently?
How many of those people in the production has been in WWE up under Kevin Dunn? So
what were you saying, Future? You were saying something at least, but then Otis came.
It'll pop back in my head. It'll pop back.
You're good.
Oh yeah, no. I said I think something that they did do to differentiate themselves by bringing the tunnels back instead of just having them come out from the center.
Yeah. They tried. So they're trying to be like WWE so much as far as the production instead of just sticking with the wrestlers. But to continue what I was saying about because I was going on a little rant about how AEW is treating these damn championships and stuff by having Swerve come on third. Then you backdoor and you got the fucking TBS championship, which is finna be hot potatoed straight to Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. And then you're going to sit there, and then you also got the TNT championship with the Cope Oakland. Whatever happened to earning? What is the deal with the rankings?
The Cope Oakland?
Yeah, the
Copeland. Hey, there he is.
Going on, Hooley. But I call it the Copeland because it's like these titles in AEW is just bro.
Yeah, that international championship wasn't designed to be that type of. If it was the TBS and it was a TV title, that can be an open challenge title. I'm okay with that. I mean, Orange Cassidy did it every damn week for 6 months straight.
He did.
I'm okay with the TBS title being an open challenge title, but that international title, needs to be treated as number 2, not just come as you are.
I just don't understand. And it looks like Hooley Graham brought us some.
Is this a watch along? Is this a watch along?
It's a bit. It's a bitch along.
This is the wrap up, Hooley. And I say, I thank you, Hooley, for bringing us some Jersey
Wrap
Mike's,
up
man.
for what?
Oh, it's the recap, Mister. I
Four
need
head
more.
chefs in one kitchen. Do the
Oh
math.
well, hell, you done missed out on 43 minutes of discussion already. Mr. Jersey
You missed
Mike.
out
He's
on
all right.
43 minutes of technical difficulties.
You guys, there's nothing that I need to talk about.
Oh, I mean, well, hell, you could just hang
Everything
on.
he's going to want to talk about, he's going to be doing here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
What? No, not
So
So
even
you
that.
got your show.
Yes. We was talking about the how I personally say AEW is trying too hard, Hologram, to be like WWE as far as the production, and it's
Well, that's what happens when you hire ex-WWE production guys.
exactly that's exactly what we just said.
What do you
Like
think was going to happen?
Exactly.
I feel like if
That's,
you go back to the way that they did things as far as production and stuff, the look, the feel of how AEW was the first 3.5 years.
I'm going to get Jimmy John's later.
Jimmy John's, what you
It's
get?
like 2 feet long. I got me a
you get?
cheesesteak, a big old fat ass
Ooh.
cheesesteak.
That sounds
I like
fire too, man.
I like
Yeah,
that. They got the chicken cheesesteak up here.
That one's good too. I always, because on the menu, those are number 56 and 57, and I always order I always mean to order the steak one, and I get them fucked up, and then I get home, and I'm like, I got chicken again, damn it. But I made sure to get steak today because I messed up the last time, so.
Do half
That
and
guy
half.
has to know how to make 57 sandwiches.
57. What the hell?
No, their numbers are all screwy. They're not like they're random numbers, and there's not that many to choose from. So why there's like a 57 and like a 13 and like a 24? The numbers are all over the place. It doesn't make any sense.
Are they like subway numbers or something, or who knows?
I'm not sure what the numbers stem. I think they used to have more options than they do now. I think since COVID, they kind of streamlined I think they took the best sellers of what they sold the most of, and then trimmed all the extra stuff off.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they did.
Trim the fat.
Steve said TK needs to step down as creative, and to basically hire a creative team like Nick Khan did to get a lot.
Yeah,
of
but that would
media.
be stepping outside of your ego. So good luck with that, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, yeah. But Tony, or should I say Petty Khan? That's what he's Petty Khan. So he should hire Scott D'Amore as head writer. You know, we talked about Scott D'Amore
He's
a little
Perky
while
Khan.
ago when he got released, and people were saying that Scott D'Amore should just be the leader of the women's division of AEW. Like I don't know, but if it helps Tony Khan, you know, take some pressure off of him, then that's fine. I'm all fine for that. All right, so we're gonna go over the draft. I want to get.
Does
these
Vince
guys...
have a good relationship with Scott D'Amore? Does anyone know?
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know if he has a good relationship with Scott.
Because I was thinking about something Jeremy was talking to me about the other day with Vince possibly starting up a new Fed with Jeff Jarrett and Global Force. Because Jeff Jarrett repurchased Global Force, and I don't see Vince getting back into the wrestling game. But if he did, I don't know. Jeff Jarrett, Scott D'Amore, and Vince McMahon. Everybody, look out!
Yeah, I mean, if that's a prime, then hey.
Just considering he's cashing out everything, and Jeff Jarrett has never, every business deal that he's ever brought to Vince, he's always capitalized on it. It just makes sense if you can read into the way the money is flowing and the things that are happening in the background. Like him purchasing Global Force is a big clue as to what everybody was saying. Like, is Vince going to start something else? Is he going to start his own competitor to his baby? And I don't know. Given the
I'll fight
that
you
is
for that
still
comment, by the way. Sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead. I just read his comment.
Let's go, baby.
You're good. But no, like I just it just makes sense. Hey, follow the money. Follow the money.
It does.
It's funny because I was listening to a Cornette podcast not that long ago, and he was explaining that back in the day in the territory days, if anybody in the business, whether it was talent or behind the scenes, a promoter, if you met somebody that was like a hedge fund manager, a cash cow of any kind, they said you did whatever you had to do to try to tap into that guy's money supply. So it'd be funny
Those angel investors. Good
it'd be
Lord.
funny if Vince McMahon then, if that's all he became for like Jeff Jarrett's Global Force, was just to be like the guy that's putting the money into it and nothing else. You know what I mean? The cash cow.
I mean, that would be, I mean, probably the best case scenario in a sense that Vince isn't actually like running a wrestling company versus just funding it.
And you know what? He doesn't have to. And if that's the case, I could see that happening because he doesn't have to be there for like the meetings and stuff. If he has a main representative like a Jeff Jarrett who can go to these meetings for the what's the name, Vince can go offshore, live a happy life, and just do the wire transfer game. And
yeah, in Switzerland.
What they call? Didn't they call it a silent partner?
Geneva.
Partner.
Yeah, silent partner, angel investor, whichever you want to call.
But I agree with Hologram. If Vince was to ever get back into the game, like that would be the primal spot for him to help with. So
Future's a fucking troll, bro.
What'd you expect?
Is a Caribbean billionaire. This man gonna be having that.
For real, Vince McMahon could go to Jamaica and live for 25 lifetimes off of that money. He's got.
Oh yeah.
Cash out my early 401k and go make a retirement in a third world country.
He could. He really could. He can go to South America. You know, South America's currency is like double the amount it is here in the U.S.
I know some baddies that live in Brazil, bro. No cap.
I want to go to Brazil. And how come they haven't been on the show yet, Hooli? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'll pull you. I'm messing with you. I'll mess with you, bro.
No, bro. The Brazil, yeah, that's a destination on my bucket list for sure.
I want to go to.
Brazil?
I want to go to Rio.
Yeah.
I want to go to Rio, bro. One time at least. One time I want to go to Rio.
Just watch out for people on mopeds.
I have a buddy that was he was the chef for the Team USA's soccer team.
Oh,
so
shit.
He went to the World Cup, and he would like send me pictures of like the fireworks just going off all the time. I'm like, that's crazy, bro.
Oh shit.
No, what's
That's
crazy
dope.
is
But
the
yeah,
amount of
I wanna do that. I
attractive
wanna
people
fly-
that are just everywhere down there.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Crowded.
Got olive skin and speaking Portuguese.
Oh yeah, Guardian's not joking though. Like they're straight hustlers down there. Like the women will bat their eyes at you and take you for everything you got.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I've seen videos on YouTube of the nightlife in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, all them, like Argentina.
Oh my God, Guardian.
My goodness, like
You girls will come up to you at the bar, and then the next thing.
That's scandalous, bro. That's hustling on a different level.
But that's real. That's real. They will do that. Yo, Jedi, what's going on, my bro?
What's up,
Good to
Jedi?
see you, man.
Hey, look at Jedi Joker's logo.
That.
It's Yoda inside the Joker face.
That's
pretty
dope.
dope.
That's actually
is real
badass,
dope.
and it looks like the Batman animated series Joker as well.
The Mark Hamill Joker.
That's one of the better. That's one of the better logos I've seen, Jedi Joker. Not gonna lie,
That's
a
dope.
job,
Good
bro.
work, sir. Good work.
You want to make my emotes and shit for me?
Yeah.
That gets an Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
You want to be a part of the Bebe illustration crew, please. The production, the creations. Because, dude, I would love a drawing, a dope ass drawing.
The Bebe art department.
Yeah, the Bebe art department.
He's got
I
merch.
like that. He's got. Yeah, I didn't even know.
Probably got a
Jedi.
Shopify account.
Jedi Joker, what do you do, bro?
Drop your link in the chat, Jedi. Drop your link in the chat so we can go check out your merch. Do that, man. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing, bro. That you was able to. Man, I haven't. I haven't drawn anything. The last drawing I remember doing was a Mortal Kombat character. I think it was Scorpion.
Yeah, man. The last time I drew was on the light rail in my city. We were going downtown or to the zoo or something. It was like 20 years ago was the last time I drew anything.
Oh, come on now. We can't block the Guardian, not the GLC or the IWC. And we can't do that to our tribal queen either, man. Come on. We're all family.
Wait, where's Jen? Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she's here. She's been here. She's been here for cool. She's been here since we started. Really, pretty much.
Oh.
All right, let's get into SmackDown and Raw. And I want to, like I mentioned, I want to talk with these gentlemen right here that's on the panel with me about the draft. We know much didn't change, but there was some subtle changes to the draft. And I kind of want to ask you guys per round. So we're going to go through 6 rounds. And plus, we got the people that were picked up after the draft was over. We'll get into that as well. I know Hooli is on a bit of a little schedule. He's going to go live with Jess later on. Shout out to Jess. I know you guys are going to kill it. Also, shout out to Storm. But
I meant to take notes on the draft, but it was so shit night one. I ended up losing. Yeah. I got distracted, and then by the time I remembered again, I was like, "Oh well, shit." This was I didn't think much was going to happen night one, so I thought, okay, all the good stuff's going to happen on Raw. So I go to watch last night. They lollygagged the shit out of that draft to the point where
drug it out.
I know Future was talking about staying up to watch the first couple of rounds. I don't even think he got to. I fell asleep.
I made it through 1 round.
I fell asleep at some point after the Becky Lynch intro. And then when I woke up, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Oh yeah, what's his name? Had the big old shiner on his giant forehead. JD McDonough.
McFlurry.
Yeah, got clocked in the head from the title, the U.S. title. That was a nice little abrasion.
No, I got punched with the Super Bowl rings.
Rings. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, right, yeah.
Logan Paul. What he got?
Somebody had put in a post that it was the title for whatever reason. So I mean that's their own fault, but even then.
All right, we're gonna go over Raw. We're gonna go over Raw's picks first. We're gonna go over every single Raw one. That's including the ones after the draft, and we'll do the same thing for SmackDown. I don't want to go back and forth between shows like that. So we know about Jey Uso. We know Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. That tells me right there that Seth Rollins is.
Oh, he stepped on his router again.
Much.
Well, Seth got drafted to Raw.
Yeah, he got
in the surprise to nobody. We called it on SmackDown when they drafted Bianca that the Pride would get drafted to SmackDown.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think if they're going to go forward with this draft stuff, can we not waste TV time drafting people that are already on our roster, please?
Exactly.
And can we actually shake shit up and like have a bunch of roster moving shows? Because having 2 days worth of 89% of the names we call are staying put. What the fuck was the point of dragging this out for 2 shows?
Right.
Worth?
It was a lackluster, lazy
people
build.
That changed shows. They could have tweeted that shit out.
Yeah.
That was the most lackluster, lazy build to a 2-week draft that really did nothing.
And they okey-doked us because we were coming out of Mania all month with this hype, and so we're like, all right, we're shaking shit up. And they literally gave us Stephanie McMahon and the people power draft all over again.
Yeah, that's a good.
And they had the same people come out and announce the picks that they did on both shows. I want to see Adam Pearce. I want to see Nick Aldis. I want to see Shawn Michaels. I want them up there selecting their people.
All three
grabbing their performers, not just oh, you're going to be over here and you're going to be over here. It's lame as shit.
And then we got Crypt Keeper Shawn McMichaels, HBK, fucking hunched over with waddling to the talent to just so he can be seen on TV again because he's probably like, oh damn, I miss being on the camera. And then he gives the talent a hug, and then it's like he's so old, he's like, oh, if he lets go, he's gonna fall to the floor, so he holds on to him for dear life. And it's like, what's he doing? How long is this hug gonna go on for? What are we doing?
He's got a whisper in the ear.
I think he was given some. I think he was given. I think he gave Kiana James a wet willy. I honestly do. I think he literally stuck his tongue in her ear.
Hold me up. I'm gonna fall over.
Like that dude who was biting on that kid's earlobe. Ugh.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so weird.
Fucking cringe, bro.
So, you know what? Listen, I feel the exact same way. I was going to get into this too. The draft that could have been done on Peacock. They could have tweeted the draft for all I care.
Could have been done.
They could have had this all done in one fucking night. But no, they wanted.
Show, I agree with that. An hour-long show on Peacock where they just are on the stage announcing people. I would have been cool with that. But the way they integrated it into the show.
You know how they do the Hall of Fame? They should have done the draft like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how they should have done it. Because they definitely did.
Either up on the ramp or in the ring, all three brand managers behind their own podium.
I want to see a scroll.
On the big Titantron, you see all the names on the board, and then names getting removed as a name gets ticked off the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your name doesn't get called, that just means you're staying on the punk ass show you were already on.
In reference to what Steven Escalante in the chat, he's over on the Twitch side. He had already said, question: since Malachi Black, Keith Lee, Buddy Matthews, and are going to be free agents this year, and we know they're definitely going back to WWE. And once they're going back to WWE, which brand do you put them on? I'm honestly not entirely sure where you would want to place them, and I don't know that anybody really could place them on the roster in any place at this point. And even then, WWE is really going to have to get their act together creative-wise as far as which direction they're going before anybody to really make that decision. Because, I mean, mixing it, them going back, regardless of whether they have family or loved ones in the company, it's how they're going to mix it up when they get back. And sometimes if it doesn't necessarily look good to them, they may just stay where they're at. And I anticipate at least one of those people sticking around.
So Malachi said that Aleister Black is dead. I know that could just be a kayfabe interview type of deal, but I don't think he wants to revisit Malachi Black. What are you going to do with Keith Lee? Like, there's so many injuries already on WWE's roster. So you could probably bring, by the time his 90-day is done, I'm sure we're going to have some people back from injury. I don't like Jeremy was saying, I don't really see WWE in a position to be hiring any big names like a Malachi Black or a Keith Lee.
What the fuck are they going to do with them in which case whenever they get there?
You're going to put them on speed? You're going to make him the speed champion?
And that whole aspect in itself is something fucking like, don't even get me started on that. We were hoping that Ricochet was going to get a push. I wasn't hoping for that.
What, is he the speed champion?
Yes, he is the speed champion.
They've already crowned a champion?
Sure the fuck have.
Why would they do that already? Not like have it on a pay-per-view.
You can have an entire tournament in like 10 minutes.
15 minutes.
They could have had that entire draft in a matter of 15 minutes. And here we've
if they were going to do the draft like this, they should have put it on Twitter. That's where it was designed to be in this format.
I will personally
12 hours of WWE draft. I wonder how much wrestling in those programs in total, in all 4 programs, considering it spanned that many nights.
They had that WrestleMania press conference.
Yeah.
Or is the draft over? Is the draft actually over? Or is SmackDown? Is it going to be on SmackDown this week too?
I think they already did all the supplemental picks. So.
I think the draft isn't technically locked in until
it's done with, but it doesn't take an effect until next week on Raw.
Okay. So, well, the way I had,
I'm gonna answer your question, Steven. I want to answer your question because see, Malachi, I've always said he's going to go back to Aleister. Now, what they're going to do with it, as far as what show he's going to be on, you put him on Raw. And then,
sorry, I misspoke.
He
said Aleister Black is dead. Otis.
Well, if he goes back as Malachi, you still put him back. You still put him on Raw. Like you put Keith Lee on SmackDown and you put Buddy Matthews on SmackDown. Unless you want to put Buddy Matthews on Raw and put Malachi on Raw. Unless you want to bring them in have a faction minus Keith Lee. But that I would do that. 2 will go to Raw definitely, and 1 will go to SmackDown. So
I don't know. I still feel like they've got
Keith Lee on Raw just so he can have another fucking epic series of wars with Dijak.
That would be dope. It's hard for me to want any of them to go back.
But yeah, well,
even though it's easy to see that at least one of them will, but you can keep stories going with all three of those guys, and two of them are linked together. Even then, I would almost hope that Keith Lee would see the benefit in staying because of Swerve being crowned the first Black AEW champion. So I don't know. He might. It's hard to say what they're gonna do, and it's funny because we all with all the releases and contracts that have came up, and it's all up in the air where everybody's going, and none of them or a lot of them make the decision we expect, but some of them actually don't. Whether they stick around or go somewhere else that we wouldn't necessarily expect. I didn't expect Nick Nemeth to go to fucking TNA or even then AAA being their mega champion. Yeah, I didn't expect that whatsoever. Like I thought he was a shoo-in for AEW.
He's got left that'll have him, unfortunately.
Maybe.
What's he gonna do in TNA? You think he wants to represent a TNA's as a champion when no one's watching it?
I don't know. Part of me feels like he wants to do the whole Matt Cardona thing for a little while, and I'm totally cool with that. If that's what
Matt Cardona's already done the Matt Cardona thing, and I could give.
Well, I know, but I mean, just in reference
iota of a half of a blue fuck to see Nick Nemeth do anything in the wrestling industry at this point.
Fair,
Steven, you might be right about
Shout out to
like
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Nemeth,
he's got name value, but
making comedy shows cringe since 2017.
But I don't see much of nothing as far as the first round with Jey Uso and Seth Rollins on Raw. Second round got a nice little pickup. They got Braun Breaker, who I think is going to be massive on Raw.
Raw's roster is stacked, Otis.
Yeah, they only made a big old deal about Aldis signing him, but
yeah, they made a big deal about getting a lot of the big names.
Yeah,
the mid card on Raw is going to be
Raw and them getting stacked, going to Netflix, needing to make that global presence. They're ready for it.
So Raw also got Liv Morgan, Ricochet, got Sheamus, Alpha Academy, Kiana James from NXT is on Raw. What do you guys think of Kiana James and what she could do on the main roster?
Who?
Kiana James.
I've only seen a handful, maybe one or two matches from her. Wow, somebody got some hella reverb. I've only seen a handful of matches from her, and everything that I've seen, she's been impressive. She hasn't. She's been fairly fluid with everything, so I think it would be a good addition.
Has she been in the movies where she eats the corn the long way?
That's a fair assertion. I mean, who knows unless you've actually seen it. I don't know.
I feel like I've seen that name in a few of them type of movies, but I couldn't. I don't know.
You think that she would want that name to translate, and do you think that anybody? I don't know. I feel like corporate would know about that, and no, we're not.
Well, they got iShow Speed on our TVs, so
we're not going to bridge that.
Clearly, no one's watching that little fucking imbecile before they put him on the show. Because if you've ever seen any of the content he puts out, I find it hard to believe if anybody in the higher ups from WWE knew the content he was putting out, that they would let him willingly be on their TV program. I don't think that would happen.
Right. As many times,
and I feel like once they get wind of the content he puts on his channel, we're not going to be seeing iShow Speed no more.
It's just like, why would? Sorry, Otis.
I was just hoping he would have got RKO'd.
Did you see Ron Killing's tweet this morning about how he met KSI, but it was iShow Speed, but he tagged KSI in the tweet? He was like, it was so great to meet KSI at Raw last night.
Watch out for a collab.
Yeah, watch out for content collab. I was dead, bro. I was like, how does he keep thinking of this shit?
Oh my God. R-Truth, man, national treasure, man. I swear, R-Truth better.
And he added KSI in the tweet, bro.
Man, he is a national treasure. That's R-Truth, Ron Killings, man. Oh,
he's
man,
the whole reason why I'm okay with them being the tag champions, and I don't have a problem with it.
Oh yeah.
I 100% agree, man. I love R-Truth. He is
Like
hilarious.
it's enough to say about Miz that he's an all right worker, but he doesn't have anything really like
Miz has no
appealing
charisma.
about him. Yeah, he has no charisma or anything really appealing. I mean, unless you're his wife and thinking that he has legitimately big balls, but all things considered, no. Like
I can't believe we're at
if it wasn't for
an era
if
of a
if it
face
wasn't for
hit.
truth, like Hooli said, I wouldn't be okay with this.
And R-Truth, like when he came into WWE, when he was K-Quick and he was with the Road Dogg, like I remember seeing him going, "Who is this guy?" Like he stood out to me, you know what I mean? But then they literally they stuck him in mid to lower card purgatory, and that's where he stayed his whole entire career. So if they let him in the Miz run with this for the rest of the year, I honestly don't care, because I think that
He
like
deserves
what else
it.
is
Just
R-Truth
flat
going to
out.
do? He's not going to go for any singles titles at this stage in his career. So I like that he understands where his placement in the company is. He's okay with doing the comedy thing. He's actually really good at doing the comedy thing, because I feel like a lot of times it's way forced and overdone and not funny at all. But I want him to see, if this is how they're giving R-Truth his flowers and his shine, then I hope it goes on for the rest of the year, really, because I feel like he, at the very least, is. But there's so much wrestling content we can complain about. Even if you don't like what the Miz and R-Truth are doing, like, shut the fuck up, man. Just let him have his fun. Like, he's 50 some goddamn years old. He's been on the. Have we ever heard about a backstage story with R-Truth getting into a fight with somebody, arguing with Vince, having contract disagreements, asking for more money, showing diva-like behavior? Nothing.
He's
ever
loyal.
since that time that he was actually in TNA.
Player. Not enough
even the time that he was in TNA, every amount of time that he's been in the wrestling business, the entire time, whether it was TNA, WWE, he or even WWF, if you want to go that far back, he's always been a company guy. Always been a company guy, and he deserves what he's getting right now, regardless of what placement on the card, what position in the title territory. Yeah, he deserves it. So nobody has really any place to be pissed off about it.
He led off.
True has
WrestleMania coming out. What's up? Getting the crowd hyped. I mean, the guy, he's a performer. He knows what he's doing.
Wait, did you see him at the he did like a little
funny as shit.
He was host of the little small Q&A session on WrestleMania weekend. Absolutely hilarious. If you guys didn't watch it, it's on WWE's channel. But it's absolutely freaking hilarious. I would advise anybody to go check that out. That was SmackDown's night one for the Raw side, night one for the SmackDown side for night one. We got Bianca Belair,
Bianca Belair, Carmelo Hayes.
First round draft pick in W. One thing I'm gonna say about Carmelo Hayes. Hold up.
I was just trying to help catch you up.
I'm going to say about Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, I appreciate it. One thing I'm going to say about Carmelo Hayes is he needs to join the Hurt Business 2.0. He needs to. And he's got it fits perfectly. Or if the pride, I hate that. If they somehow let Bobby Lashley, he gonna do his thing, maybe B-Fab can be his manager or something like that, and have the Street Profits go do their thing. I would love to see Carmelo Hayes part of the Street Profits. It just fits so perfectly with those guys. SmackDown also got Randy Orton. They got an addition with Nia Jax. I know you guys, go ahead, make your Nia Snacks comments and stuff like that.
I think after last night, what I realized about Nia Jax is I'd rather see her wrestle, and please never give her a live microphone for any fucking reason. Ever. Ever.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear that crowd pop when she said that it was her last night on Raw?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought that was the sound of the air-inflated Glad bag she was wearing for ring attire popping.
She got the crowd big when she said it was her last night on Raw.
Oh my goodness.
So Otis, to kind of expand on what you said about Carmelo Hayes, what did Rocky Maivia do when he debuted?
Had little fruity little tassels dangling from
He
his
didn't do
arms.
shit. What happened when Rocky Maivia joined the Nation of Domination?
He became The Rock.
That's when we got The Rock. So I mean, a guy like Carmelo Hayes, yeah, he's got talent. He'll come in, but how good would a protective faction be for somebody like him coming up main roster? You know, they could catapult him to where, you know, they're all top tier talents there.
Yeah, like for real. And I'm gonna say this: I agree with Hologram. Please don't give Nia Jax a live mic no more.
Hey, it made Liv Morgan shut up for a minute.
She's
so
a good
like,
heel. She's a good heel, and I think she's getting better than when she was in NXT. But when she starts talking, like I was expecting her to say something clever, something badass, and then it's the tone of her voice, which is very it's very Vicky Guerrero-esque to my ears. Not like so screechy, but it's got that just annoying tone to it where I just
shrill.
As soon as I hear that sound, my brain shuts off, right?
That's fair.
So it's the tone of her voice, and then it's like she has no idea what she's even trying to say when she's saying it. So she stutters, she stops, she messes up, and it's like, okay, if you're in a real life fight situation and you're talking ish to somebody, you're not going to be going, hey, wait, what was I going to say to you to make you feel stupid? Oh, I forgot. But anyways, moving on. Like, you don't do that kind of shit, right?
Like, it's a wonder how people cut promos if they're just studying bullet points or if they actually have like word for word promos in certain cases. Because I mean, the amount of fumbling that happens, you can't help but wonder if it's word for word. But at the same time, like,
well, you can tell
you can't help but like if she doesn't even know what the fuck she's
got to
saying in the
remember
first
bullet
place.
points and probably ad lib in there, and so she's thinking about that as she's trying to cut it, and then she gets tripped up over her thoughts versus the words that are coming out of her mouth, and it looks corny and unbelievable every time, and she does it every time she talks. I can't. Is anybody talking to her? Is she going to promo class? Is she got like a speech person there with her to like somebody to sit there help her write promos? And is she just doing like a JD from NY one take and she's done? Is she like, if you're having trouble memorizing shit, repetition is key, right? So instead of rating the catering line before the show, why don't you look in front of a mirror and practice your promo 50 times before they go live?
You know, I agree with you. I agree with you there, Hooli, because she is a great heel, and I think she needs to talk less to be that heel. Here's another thing. I think she was moved over to SmackDown so she could join the Bloodline. What you guys think?
That's what I said a week ago. I said, give her the fucking title, not Becky Lynch, and then stick her in the Bloodline.
As much gravitas as they're trying to give her in the company, that was where I was thinking they were going to put her, but they kept again feuding her with Becky and putting her in remedial shit that is kind of beneath her. Maybe, I don't know.
Have you seen the YouTube video of Jacob Fatu talking about the Bloodline?
I have. If it was in like a short interview, I may have.
Yeah, it was like a short interview, and he was talking about the different members, and he started mentioning the members that are not even Bloodline, that are in the Bloodline through marriage, and he talked about Naomi, Trinity Fatu, and Nia Jax, right?
Lena Fene.
Fellas, give me a second. I'll let you guys continue. Shout out to you, Rage, for the $50 Cash App donation. I love you,
Rage. Go, Rage.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
You are the quintessential reason, you and JD are the quintessential reason why I'm doing this. I love you guys so much, Rage. Forever, I will forever be there for you no matter what. And you know, whenever you're having a hard time, just hit me up no matter what. But thank you so much, Rage. That means a lot. And I'm trying not to get emotional right now because shit like this makes me you guys make me want to just keep doing this.
Makes him cry like a little bitch.
Makes me a Cody Crybaby, damn it. I ain't trying to be a Cody Crybaby, all right? That's over. That ended at WrestleMania. All right. But I
You
love
made
you,
him cry,
Ray.
Raid.
I appreciate y'all, man. I do apologize, gentlemen. You guys can continue with Jacob Fatu and what he said about
We'll
the
let you wipe
bloodline.
your tears. It's fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's humbling.
Got an
Very
issue? Grab a tissue.
Otis, are you crying? Yeah. Tears of joy.
Yeet.
He's yeeting right now.
Tears of joy. Yes, I'm
All over
yeeting.
himself.
Well, don't yeet all over your microphone, man. That's expensive.
It was. It definitely was. I ain't trying to do that. But hopefully we see Jacob.
Probably gonna get canceled if he does.
Yeah, I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to get canceled. But thank you, Rage. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's continue. The next pick SmackDown had was LA Knight. Yeah.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
And of course, the Bloodline got drafted. No Roman, no Jimmy Uso. AJ Styles was next. And of course, another addition to the SmackDown with Andrade El Idolo. Hopefully, he'll do a little bit more. I actually see Legado and El Idolo battling. I see that happening. You cannot say that that's not going to happen. That's definitely going to happen from what we saw.
Andrade versus Santos Escobar.
Yes.
Sign me up. Sign me.
That's
the fuck
definitely
up
going to
for
happen. Anger. That's going to be fantastic. And that better not be a Friday.
That's a match of the year contender, actually.
That better not be SmackDown. That better not be a SmackDown match. They got to. Hopefully, they'll make.
You think so?
With Andrade and Santos Escobar, 100%.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They haven't
at least
they've
and I wasn't
Santos' talent at all yet.
No.
Like I know what they're capable of, but just a match of the year. It's like they've got a lot of contenders to go up against at this point.
Not really. Who they got to contend with? Roman and Cody, Will Ospreay and Takeshita, Will Ospreay and
Danielson,
which was a
6.5 star match.
Did Meltzer give it 6.5?
6.5 stars. It is now the second highest rated match by the Observer in history.
What got 7? Probably a Kenny Omega match.
Omega and Okada 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's going to be. I can't wait for that match either, man. Sign me up. Give me 3 trips around the world for that match. I will definitely do that because it's going to be fantastic. I think Andrade is going to have better booking on SmackDown than he did in Raw. That's just my personal opinion.
Honestly, it's hard to say where he'd be better at right now because he's only been around for how long? He's only been back for how long, and he really has barely even gotten his feet wet.
Yeah,
like Charlotte was lobbying for that spot at Mania because he had never been in a Mania match. He had never had one. So, I mean, he's not been around long enough, in my opinion, to really tell whether he's better suited for SmackDown or Raw. But I mean, if they want to move him and they have a program for him,
and that's fair. And I could see Andrade mixing it up with the United States champion, and I think he's just going to have a little bit more better a chance to kind of really get his feet wet in SmackDown than he did in Raw. He did have a few matches here and there on Raw, but I think on SmackDown he's going to just thrive just that much more. And it's all going to accumulate when Charlotte comes back. So I can see that somehow, some way it's going to be mixed up with El Idolo and Charlotte versus Elektra Lopez and Santos. I can see that happening later on down. It's
Tez and Bianca.
Yeah, that right there. So
that's another thing. Them implementing relationships into storytelling. I like that, but based on like they have such a tendency to veer away from it after a certain point, or at least take steps away and then right back into it. This is just the way they have done it in the past. I'm just hoping that it's better. So Uncle Dave jacked off through the match and didn't find it.
That's why we gotta have Jen here, man. It's not a stream without Queen, man. Jen, you better not ever go nowhere. By the way, Jen is the first, my first subscriber. She's been here over a year, about a year and a half now, on my channel. It's so crazy. It is so crazy. All right, so that was pretty much SmackDown's night one, round one, or whatever you want to call it for the draft. Monday Night Raw last night. We finished up the draft, and we started off with Imperium, Damage Control, which was a change from SmackDown to Raw, CM Punk, and Braun Strowman. Damage Control, I think it's a nice, small little welcome, just based on the fact that the women needs tag teams. So I think it was decent. Not really a big deal. They're probably still going to be the Jobber Control Squad here in the next couple of weeks, putting over other women's tag team. CM Punk is a no-brainer. You got that feud with Drew McIntyre. We'll talk about him in just a few minutes. And the returning Braun Strowman, the monster among men, is back. Listen, Hooligan, I'm going to start off with you. What you think about Braun Strowman being back and being drafted to Raw? Hooli? he had that headset off.
Oh, is y'all talking to me? Sorry. I forgot I was on camera. I was on a different screen. Sorry, Jess was trying to get a hold of me. I got a phone call and I'm like, this person doesn't usually call me. And then I realized that Jess was trying to get a hold of me. So my bad. What's going on now?
I'll repeat the question. What do you think of Braun Strowman being back and being drafted to Monday Night Raw?
You know what? Honestly, there was a comment in the chat. I think it was Clone Force. So he said he thought Zelina would manage Andrade again, right? And I was thinking about it because that's just what we knew worked for Andrade when he was in his run on the main roster and in NXT. But when they announce like a new era, a new direction, the last thing they're going to do is take stuff from 5 years ago and recycle it because it's too fresh. It's too new still. Not enough time has passed. So I honestly don't think they're going to have Andrade with Zelina at all. Now to
Zelina's on Raw and Andrade's on SmackDown now. So
to answer your question, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Braun Strowman, but when they announced him last night and they show him and he comes out and he's got hair again and he doesn't look like a giant steroid-ridden penis, to use the lack of a better term. Seeing Braun Strowman, maybe there's a little affection there because of his affiliation with Bray Wyatt. And I got my own things about these wrestlers affiliated with Bray Wyatt coming back with like Bo Dallas and Braun and this and that. But I liked seeing him and I thought, well, take a look at who's on their roster. You got Dijak coming to Raw. He's a big guy. You've got Braun Strowman. You've got. I'm trying to think. There's Bronson Reed. You've got
Odyssey Jones.
Who?
Odyssey Jones. He got drafted to Raw too.
The Oddities are back.
Not the Oddity.
Kurgan was dope. I don't know how that's going to work though, because they're going to have to dig up Luna Vachon. So.
No, Odyssey Jones.
Who?
That's what I said.
Legit, who are you talking about? I've never seen or heard of Odyssey
Jones.
He's a
big, burly black guy. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll dig up a fucking picture of him since.
But if he's a big guy.
Oh my goodness.
It seemed like Raw's getting all the big guys, like all the bigger.
You're going to look at him. You're going to look at him and see.
He's got like Mark Henry vibes too.
Yeah, Mark Henry
does he?
incarnate, for real.
Yeah, world's strongest man type guy. Yeah.
So to answer your question further about Braun Strowman, if he comes back with that choo-choo train dumb shit, I'm not down with that. Like, make Braun Strowman a bona fide bad. Oh, I thought that was who's the champion on NXT? The North American.
Obafemi.
Oh, I thought that was him.
They do kind of look like him though, like a bigger version.
I'm
of him.
confused. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, Obafemi.
Because he looks like Obafemi to me, but I've never seen or heard of Odyssey Jones, so I have no. I literally don't know a single thing about this guy.
A handful of times.
I have no idea.
Odyssey Jones was supposed to get called up from the draft last year when Vince was running it. But we never.
So he's a big dude, obviously. He looks like a Keith Lee, body size wise. You've got Dijak, Braun Strowman. It looks like Raw's Bronson Reed. They got all the big guys on Raw. It looks like the tag team women's division is going to SmackDown.
Right.
I'm for Braun Strowman. If they make Braun his own dude, don't do the choo-choo train shit, the stuff we've already seen. Don't do the. I don't want to see the
Strowman
a copycat like carbon copy retro Wyatt Family 6. I don't want him to do that. Like if Bo Dallas comes back as a character that reminds me of the shit that Bray Wyatt did, I'm fine with it. Don't give me the supernatural voodoo shit. I don't want to see nothing like that. But if you've got like a character, he comes out in a top hat, he's got kind of got like the Louisiana Cajun Bayou vibe to him. That's okay. If he's going to be in a faction, have him be in a faction. Have the same people that were in the Wyatt family be there if you want, but make them different characters and don't like make it remind me of what we loved about Bray Wyatt. Don't try to copy it because if you try to copy it, it's going to go. It's going to stink.
I want them to give subtle nods and homage to it, but I don't necessarily want them to focus on that. But I would love to see a personification of Huskus the Pig or Ramblin' Rabbit or Mercy the Buzzard or I'd love to see these incarnates of wrestlers coming in and actually playing versions of these characters, or at least
didn't Adam Rose's Rosebuds have a rabbit and a bird character in his little group of people that followed him to the ring?
He very well could.
Yes, it did.
Oh, Braun was one of the Rosebuds. I forgot about that.
Yep, he was. That was his first shtick on there.
You could make him the pig.
Here's the thing that I want to say real quick. When it comes to the Wyatt Six now, from what I've been reading, is that you're gonna have different characters. Yeah. You're gonna have different characters because I heard there was a clown that's gonna be involved.
Okay.
The buzzard is gonna be reincarnated. The pig is gonna look even more evil and sinister.
Yeah.
What show was it? When Bray Wyatt originally came back that last time, and we all lost our shit, and there were all the characters were in the crowd. I seriously thought that's when they were getting ready to do something of like
they were, but then it didn't pass Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon ordered the death of it.
Fucking, that would have been so great.
That was Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules.
Okay.
When came back and we saw all the different characters, there is going to be a rendition like that. And we're getting the QR codes, and it's going to, of course, Bray Wyatt was.
Did you all see the QR code last night?
Yeah, I saw
it. That was
I saw your boy.
So what was it?
The QR code was it was like all fuzzy. It wasn't very clear, the camera, but it went up to an old house and you could hear like a girl's voice like cackling. You could hear like it was obviously voices that had been like gone through like a voice changer. So one sounded like kind of like a demon voice. One was like a it reminded me of like all the different like voices from the Wyatt Six, and they were all compiled together. I don't know what they were saying, but the words that were flashing.
Not like this kind of voice change.
Yeah, there was one like that.
Or like this.
Yeah. It looked like the lens that they were using was like multicolored and like kind of wavy, so it looked like you were like in a dream, kind of like. And it was the old house, and it reminded me of the house that he had the match with Randy Orton in.
Right.
What's your buddy's name?
The one that burned down.
What's his?
That's just a vibe I got. I'm not saying it was the house. I'm just saying that that old abandoned house is what it looked like they were revisiting. Maybe if that has anything to do with it, it'll be from the time period before the house burnt down. But the words on the screen was something like they kept flashing that big crow, the buzzard, and then they whatever I don't remember the words exactly that came on the screen after that, but it referenced Bray Wyatt, and that was like the most they've referenced to Bray Wyatt in all these little QR codes that they've done. Last night's was the most that really kind of
sparked your interest, or at least
I'm
had
like,
you at.
yeah, but it got me thinking. It's like I like the tease and the reminder of Bray Wyatt, but if it's going to be the same characters just in human form, I don't necessarily know that I want that. And I think you're pigeonholing your talent, especially the guys that aren't Bo Dallas, the guys that are going to play like the pig and the buzzard. If we just know them as a pig and a buzzard or whatever, no one's going to care about them.
And even then, I hope that they didn't go into the draft actually drafting the people, like visibly drafting the people
like Braun
who were
Strowman,
play.
and then he turns into some character of the Wyatt
yeah,
Six.
like I hope that they leave that in suspense, and like they kept like maybe as a part of the supplemental draft that we didn't necessarily
I wouldn't
see.
have any of the
wouldn't,
superstars on the
nobody
roster be any of the characters for the Wyatt Six. If you want to make characters for the Wyatt Six, use some of the talent from NXT and put masks on their face, because we don't know who the fuck they are anyway. So it ain't going to hurt their career one iota if the character doesn't get over. Just take off the costume and put him back in NXT, and we don't ever even have to know who the hell the guy was behind the makeup or the mask or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Jen,
let's make sure we keep the kayfabe alive, because you still have some people that want to spoil it. Oh, we just spotted this and this person putting on the mask. Could he possibly be part of the Wyatt Six? Like they did that with.
I can't help it, bro. I can't help it. Nobody else in this room can.
You're giving up all the secrets. You remember on Fox, like back in like 2008, they did a show with like a magician, and they exposed the secrets of the magic industry. And then that spawned a show about the masked luchador wrestler came out and exposed all the kayfabe secrets of pro wrestling, how they do shit and trick the crowd. That's basically the title of your show, bro.
There's the Twitter address for the video.
Okay, cool.
If you expose too many secrets, you might want to be thinking about putting on a mask so nobody knows who you are in real life in case you get spotted in public.
I mean, that's not a horrible idea. It'd be a nice gimmick to
have.
You got a lucha mask in your logo. You might as well do your show with a lucha mask on.
Yeah, I got a few different logos, but that's the only one that I really liked out of all of them.
Here, check out this.
All right.
This will make you pop.
So we all right. We heard Hula Grim mention these other people that's on the Raw roster right now. We've already talked about LWO. Drew McIntyre is another big guy that they drafted in the third round. We heard Drew McIntyre come out and say who drafts Drew McIntyre in the third round. I thought that was
you got a La Parka mask.
Parka mask.
That's what's up.
Hey, can you do the dance? Can you do the La Parka dance?
LA Park.
Can you do the La Parka dance, Hooli?
How did he do it? I've seen it a million times and I can't think of what he did. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that dance, man.
Yeah.
La Parka was so dope to me, man. La Parka was so dope. Judgment Day, you got the world champion and McFlurry and Finn Balor and stuff like that. You got those guys that they're staying on Raw. There's another big man for Dijak to fight with on Monday Night Raw, and that's Damian Priest.
Damian
Ilya
Priest.
Dragunov. Yeah, Ilya Dragunov, which is one that I knew they was going to call. I see Ilya in Imperium. I'm sorry. You're not going to leave a two-man Imperial group. You're not going to do that.
I'd rather see him
supplementally
in battle with Gunther than be on the same team with him, though, to be honest.
Giovanni Vinci was in the supplemental draft on to Raw.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that one too. To finish off Raw's.
Oh, never mind. I'm mistaken. Giovanni Vinci's on SmackDown. Never mind.
He's not leaving. They're not releasing him, and he's not getting shipped down to NXT.
No, he's on SmackDown.
That made me really happy last night.
New Day is staying on Monday Night Raw. Also from NXT, Lyra Valkyria. I think that's a good pickup for the main roster.
Who?
Lyra Valkyria, the former NXT Women's Champion.
The one that Becky Lynch lost the belt to.
Yeah.
I know, just nobody knows who the fuck she is. That's all.
I couldn't pick her out of a lineup.
The Final Testament, they left SmackDown. They are now on Raw. I have no idea what they're going to do. I assume.
Oh, Akam and Razor and Karrion Kross, more big men on Raw's got all the big guys. They've got all the big guys.
And of course,
that
Big Bronson Reed and Big Bronson Reed. And that will do it for night 2 for Monday Night Raw. On SmackDown, they got Legado. Shinsuke moves from Raw to SmackDown. Hopefully he'll be. Hey, look, there's somebody else for Andrade to go one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. SmackDown also keeps Naomi. They pick up Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They keep Pretty Deadly. They get Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. DIY, and mark my words, DIY will become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. They will defeat Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I see that coming a mile away. And to finish that off,
that irritates me. Oh, never mind. Well, I had a nice little soapbox that I stepped up on, but no, I stand corrected. No, I didn't see that. Huh?
And then you put the soap right.
No, I was gonna say I don't see Randy Orton anywhere on this list, but you mentioned him earlier, obviously, and I just saw him on night 1.
Yeah, he's on SmackDown.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I was gonna mention that.
Before she rounds out the final TV pick for SmackDown, I'm happy for Blair. I think she's going to do fantastic on SmackDown. I can't wait to watch her.
Oh,
she's going.
I saw somebody had said something about this on X, based on, and it's just a coincidence at this point. But now that Ospreay is being pushed in AEW and has some prominence in his career, now that he's actually also separated from Blair Davenport. That's the reason why she might be being pushed right now, as just to kind of shove it in his face.
It's the same thing they're saying about Ricochet. Yep. While Ricochet is getting pushed. Then again, he won again last night.
Any fan can see the connections and just make that
Ricochet victories, and it is all to Will Ospreay. So everybody say thank you to Will Ospreay for giving Ricochet a shot.
Yep.
All right, then we got the supplemental draft. Go ahead, Hooli. Go ahead, Hooli.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Otis. I was going to say I just got. Apparently, Jess isn't going to do her show today. She asked to postpone it, so I'm not. I can stay for. The good news is I'll be able to watch TNT from the get go because I was going to be really late to that tonight. But
all right. Well,
I guess if you're planning on watching me today, come watch me tomorrow.
I'll be there.
I was watching you tomorrow.
Yeah, but tomorrow's Dynamite, so I don't know how that's
I'll be bouncing back and forth, Hooli. Don't worry.
Because I think we'll go live at the same time that Dynamite starts, so that's going to be an issue. But
yeah, I'll be bouncing out, Hooli.
I'll be in the chat marking out for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got the day off. So, yeah.
We all know Rob won't, so it's fine.
Yeah, you got a couple of groupies.
He's got work and he's got sleep and eating and his own stream and
shots fired,
Red Bulls and rocking back and forth.
No, I could not help earlier.
He'll be too busy.
As much with Future be like, what? Why has Adam Pearce blocked me? What was that? And then Rob coming back, well, he ain't blocked me, and I called him a dumb piece of shit a long time ago. Well,
yeah,
Jesus Christ. And then I cut that.
Here's the thing about wrestlers blocking. If you're trying to actually get wrestlers to block you, I don't know why that became a badge of honor.
Yeah, if you're a fan and you're trying to do that deliberately, I mean, it's one thing for me to.
I like Adam Pearce. I've commented on his
Here's the secret. If you don't follow the wrestler you're talking shit about, chances are they're not going to see you talking shit, so they're not going to block you. But if you follow them and you tag them in a hateful post, that's how you get blocked.
Well,
I have not been blocked by any wrestler that I don't follow, that I've talked shit about. But the ones that I've talked shit about that I had followed, that's how I figured out the secret. That's why I don't follow wrestlers. That leaves me free to talk whatever opinion I want, and they can't do shit about it. Also, don't tag them in their @. If you @ them, that's also how you get blocked.
Facts, Hooli. Facts. I don't want to talk about the mistake I did. Because I I don't know how. Well, I
Didn't
guess I
JBL
do
block
know
you?
how, but I wasn't trying.
I was
No.
almost trying to get it Bischoff
So
to
I made
block
a
me
comment to
yesterday. I'll be right back.
So I did a comment. I did a comment to Adam Pearce, and this was back when Vince was running it, and I didn't know no
And
better,
Adam
and I
Pearce sucked.
tagged Adam Pearce, and I also tagged JD, and I tagged JD in it, and Adam Pearce actually blocked JD because of my comment. So after a little bit of clearing up, after a couple of days of clearing stuff up and everything with Adam Pearce, he unblocked JD. And then he had like sent me a comment and he was like, I don't run the shows or something like that. So again, and I still feel guilty about that till this day. That was like 2 years ago. And I still feel guilty about that to this day. So JD, I do apologize, bro. I'm sorry. And Adam Pearce, I'm so sorry. You're doing a great job. Mr. Raw GM. All right.
I might
We got this
tag like at WWE, but I've never said anything ill about Adam Pearce. I actually like him a lot. I love his TV personality. Maybe because I'm always chilling for Chelsea. I don't know, but it is what it is.
Shotzi has a torn ACL, so she wasn't in the draft either. So all the injured people are not in the draft, or people that's just taking time off. You know, we know Roman is filming Goodfellas, a new movie. Oh no, Good Fortune, the new movie Good Fortune. So that's why he withdrew.
But he's a champion and he's not injured. So how does he just get to go? You can leave me out of this draft. Why?
Yeah,
How?
I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it with this one, or and I think Jimmy is actually hurt though.
Because he's only going to perform on pay-per-views. He's not going to be on either show.
He's scheduled to come back. Roman Reigns is actually scheduled to come back on the Go Home show before SummerSlam. So that would be the next time we see Roman. All right.
That's
supplemental.
what I was thinking, Future. She thought she was injured.
Yeah. So supplemental draft. We're gonna so Raw picked up on the supplemental draft. They got Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Whatever. They got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Whatever. They got Ivar. They got the boat known as Natalia. They got Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, Odyssey Jones, Dijak from NXT, the Creeds and Ivy and New Catch Republic.
Okay, so the women named at the beginning, are they singles or are they tag team?
It has Shayna and Zoe separate.
Yeah.
But then it has Alba Fire and Isla Dawn together.
Right, because they are a tag team.
They got
surprised me as much traction.
So that's weird because I thought SmackDown seemed to have been picking all of the women tag teams last night. So why Raw got one, I'm not really sure.
It surprises me that Natty even
Raw
wound up on the main roster and not on NXT where she.
Well, Natty's going to be picked at every draft until she legit retires. That's just how that's going to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, given how much traction she had been having on NXT is why I thought that Sean might be like, hey, come down here and mix it up with us for a while.
No, she'd been around too long to go down to NXT, I feel like. Just her name value alone. I mean, it's just name value only, and she's the link to Bret Hart. You know what I mean?
The reason I say that is what is she really doing of value on the main
roster? I get
roster?
what you're saying, totally. Like she would probably be better utilized going to NXT and having killer matches with them girls and training them also, taking them under her wing. I agree. Because that's what she did pretty much with Charlotte when Charlotte came up. And she had a killer match. Well, that was probably one of my favorite matches ever involving Charlotte.
And I saw a bunch of posts from her saying that she had actually enjoyed the fuck out of her little time in NXT, saying that she'd just mixing it up with the young talent.
She lives in Tampa anyway, so she'd be right there at home. She wouldn't have to, but I'm sure she likes to travel and get all the work done and wear all the Prada and the Louis Vuitton and all that shit. So of course she's going to want to be on the main roster. It's just Natalia. Yeah. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm just saying her status is now, she's been around for so long that.
And she uses Bret's music to come in.
Oh yeah, she's totally been riding her father and her uncle's coattails.
You know,
I miss Jimmy Anvil. I miss him.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the Hart Foundation's theme music, yeah.
With the and then
Yeah, it's Bret Hart's music.
Yes, sir.
It might have a little twist
Also,
on it, but that's the tune.
A little bit of that
And that's
Def
what I was
Rebel
saying.
tone.
Wait, who's thumbs downing the stream? You fucking jobbers.
Somebody's
Future?
man.
Trolling and shit.
Who's the clown?
Just trolling.
All right, we're gonna talk about SmackDown.
Put a 1 in the chat if you thumbs down the stream because I'm here.
I better not see a 1 in the chat. I better not. I better not see.
And I swear, if you do this, if you put
Cooper
this
will come
kind
and
of
get
one,
you.
be mad.
Hey, Cooper. What's up, Coop? What's up,
That's
Cooper?
kind of fucked up.
Coop, the people are
it's
talking.
Future.
Is that what Guardian was talking about? It went from 28 likes to 16.
Yeah, YouTube be removing likes and adding them back later. I don't know why they do that. They updated their whole algorithm system and stuff like that. So
Makes
like,
me want to
I don't-
rethink my streaming.
I don't know, but they'll
Adam
catch
Pearce.
up. It usually takes a couple of days for everything to kind of refresh.
Do you guys
and,
think
get
that
to
Adam
rest.
Pearce and Nick Aldis are the best GMs that we've had on Raw and SmackDown at the same time?
Comparably.
I'm trying to think about some other GMs.
that's a
I was
good
trying to think
question.
about it, but like Teddy Long was always the GM of SmackDown. Who was the Raw? It was anonymous Raw general manager. We had the time period where it was random people every time.
Stephanie on there? Was she a GM at some point?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. She was an authority figure. She was.
These are probably.
I'm gonna say yes, Holy.
I really like Nick Aldis. I really like
yeah.
Nick Aldis.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
One, it's a wonder about Nick Aldis.
That's gonna eventually that's gonna happen to where Nick Aldis is gonna get transitioned back into a performer because William Regal is gonna come take the SmackDown.
That was my next. That was my next thing. Like, given
Nick Aldis,
I know he's dying to mix it up with some of these guys, and they've just relegated him to being this general manager, and where he's excelled. He's definitely exceeded my expectations for it, and so like it's hard. It's going to be interesting to see him starting to transition because I'm just waiting for a feud to set him into ring mode again, but when that's going to be. Hard to say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I can see Orton being Nick Aldis' first match. I can see Randy Orton, maybe AJ Styles. I can see that. Perhaps it'll be Cody. I don't know, but I could definitely see it. But yeah, he does have a torn bicep right now. You're right, Future. He does. SmackDown's version supplemental draft goes like this. SmackDown picked up from Monday Night Raw the OC, Gallows, and Anderson, which is, if they don't tell you that we're finna get a heel OC with AJ Styles
and with AJ on there too. So
yeah, exactly. I can see Mia Yim being added to that as a heel. I think Mia Yim does need a heel change. She needs to be a heel. That would be great. A heel OC would be fantastic. Baron Corbin is back on SmackDown from NXT. So that,
and he's just going to go back to boring Corbin. So I know that for a fact.
Well, as long as he doesn't come out in a leather vest and assless chaps again, we'll be all right.
If he did the lone,
if
he came back with the lone wolf gimmick, then
that'd be good.
Yeah, like it's got to be done the right way. But
yeah,
I don't know that that's going to happen. Okay. I got a list.
Shante and Adonis, they are also on SmackDown, and they're there as a tag team. They were brought in. They were drafted as a tag team. Cedric Alexander and Shante Adonis. Tiffany Stratton, of course. Tiffany Stratton. You know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. My projected Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. That'd be a perfect setup for her.
Apollo Crews is going back to SmackDown. Giovanna Vinci has been drafted to SmackDown, and to finish off SmackDown's supplemental draft, Tegan Knox. So, my question to the three gentlemen that's up on this panel with me right now: who had the better draft?
Shit, man. Raw, like what Hooli was saying, they got most of the big guys. I would give Raw the advantage of this draft.
Future?
If they can keep Apollo Crews with kind of this Street Fighter thing that they had going in NXT, that would work for them to stay far away from that Nigerian shit that they had.
That'll be interesting. I've kind of been waiting for Athena and Masha to mix it up.
It might give SmackDown kind of that. It's going to be the second show. We know it's going to be the second show, but it could give it a little bit of grit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see. I think we all want to see Baron Corbin do well. It's just like we know that somehow they're going to screw him up again. But I want to see Baron Corbin do well because he's a good wrestler. He just has bad gimmicks.
I've never really had an issue with him, and considering it's kind of funny that he shows up. He was drafted to what
SmackDown.
Show did we say? SmackDown. Okay, well. They were in Kansas City last night. I didn't watch like intently. Did he even show up?
Yeah. Yeah. And that would have been great if he would have come out. If he would have came
out. I mean, it would have been nice if they I guess they have room and reason for him on SmackDown, but I mean, based on the fact that they were in Kansas City last night, it's basically his hometown. So
yeah,
like I don't know. It just I just wondered why he wasn't on Raw, but I mean they obviously have something for him. But albeit, like say, as long as they do any kind of reminiscent booking as far as what they were doing in NXT, from what I heard, they were doing him very well down there. Pause.
Yeah.
No
Diddy.
Yeah.
No Diddy. He's gonna be on SmackDown, and Braun Breaker's gonna be on Raw. So
no Yeet. And that's the thing. People was talking about, we should get the Wolf Dogs on the main roster. The Wolf Dogs. Well, sorry guys, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I had a question for the fourth round. Have you guys noticed that when somebody from NXT gets picked, they go to the Performance Center and everybody's just around the ring and everything waiting to be called, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know this. I have a question. None of the GMs on Raw or SmackDown, they were in the war room and stuff like that. Why was Ava Raine sitting with the roster? And she's supposed to be NXT GM. Why was she sitting with the roster?
Well, I mean, that's her dad, for one. He's on the board, for two. She's also in kayfabe admin position, for three. So, I mean, I don't see there really being any holes in the reason or fault in why she's sitting next to her dad. I mean, no, she wasn't sitting next to her dad. She was sitting in the ring next with all of the NXT roster when they was getting called. And I was wondering why is she sitting in the roster when she's supposed to be a GM for NXT. I think it was just the presentation that they were doing last night, because if you saw any of the pictures that they had from Full Sail or wherever the NXT venue that they're doing that they're at concurrently, they had fans in attendance. So there was probably tickets sold for Full Sail or wherever the venue is that allowed them to be present in the NXT venue for the draft. And they probably had Ava Raine out there as some kind of voice or...
Is it my turn to answer about Baron Corbin yet?
Yeah, just 1 second. But yeah, it was primarily just because of that. Probably just because they were trying to have her out there, in a sense, hoorah, whatever. But anyway, Baron Corbin. Go ahead, Hooli.
Are we asking if we're happy that Baron Corbin's back on the main roster?
Oh no, I had a simple question about Ava Raine and why she was sitting with the roster on NXT. during the
No,
draft.
but the question before that, you were asking
Question
about Baron
before
Corbin.
it was who had the better supplemental draft.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of discussing.
But then Baron Corbin came into question that he was moved from NXT to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So
like according to you, who had the better draft? And
Raw had the better draft. The draft was a waste of time.
Yep.
They could have just as easily just posted a list.
Don't give a fuck
This is
about
good.
Baron Corbin, and he literally adds nothing. What we see on TV literally adds that much value to the TV program, and that's unfortunate because he was dope. I mean, just if you think about it, think about what we've seen from the last number of years, the overall entirety of his main roster career, excluding the NXT lone wolf guy that he did his best at, in my opinion.
Yep, that's what I was just saying. They brought him out with that.
What sort of impact has he made as a talent? And I'm not trying to be an asshole to the guy, but and if he sees this, he'll probably block me. But I mean,
let's think about this.
The character, not the person, in terms of impact. With when you mix him in with all the other talent, I can think of so many. Tiffany Stratton has made a bigger name for herself in a shorter amount of time, doing far less. She ain't won no Money in the Bank. She ain't done no dipshit, goofy, failed cash-in stuff. She looks like she's actually, if you see past the Cher from Clueless gimmick and the annoying little, and I don't, that's exactly who she's trying to imitate. That's not even trying to be a joke. She's legitimately trying to be, she came out in her, that wasn't Burberry she was trying to wear in that outfit last week in yellow. That was Cher's little miniskirt from the movie Clueless, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see past the gimmick part of her character, she's literally going into this ocean where all these big sharks and she's this little fish, and she's literally staring each one of these names in the face and saying, I hope you're ready because I'm knocking on the door. And she's killing it. When have you seen a woman come into the company and do that?
I'm gonna piggyback off of Julio in a second. You got anything else for that? Because I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said.
She literally, there's an aura about her, like the way that she was talking to Naomi last week, the way she was talking last night, the photos that she posts on Twitter and Instagram. Like there's just a look about her that you can tell she knows where she wants to go. When a lot of these girls that come out of NXT, they seem to, you can just tell the way they talk there, they have no direction because they're unsure of what it is they're doing.
I see Tiffany Stratton doing clean jerk workouts, and then I see Liv Morgan getting Coachellaed with CJ Perry. So it's like
I see Liv Morgan coming out of Dominic Mysterio's dressing room. That's what we get from. We're gonna get. She's gonna go from Liv Morgan to Liv Horgan. So that's where we're going with that.
And
that's exactly what I was wanting to call her earlier, but it just didn't come to my mind. Oh my goodness!
I want to piggyback off of Julio's comment. First, I just want to kind of say something about Baron Corbin because it's a difference with Baron Corbin now. The Baron Corbin who we got in NXT, Black and Gold, is not the same Baron Corbin we got when Vince was running, which is not the same Baron Corbin we got in the new NXT, which may not or may be the same one that we get. Now, in my opinion, NXT almost revitalized Baron Corbin and basically turned him babyface. You know, so, but I don't know. We'll see how Triple H books Baron Corbin on SmackDown versus when Vince booked Baron Corbin.
The reality is WWE's got such a loaded roster, and when you load a roster like Raw's done, the sad part is there's not enough time to give all these guys equal roles, equal shine. So some of these guys are gonna unfortunately fall by the wayside just due to what the crowd picks up on and what time they're allowing each superstar to have. So we'll see in the next few weeks by the next major pay-per-view, which is Money in the Bank. We should know by then, how the rest of the year, at least for the summer months, are going to shake out. But
and even then, it's enough to say about AEW that they have the very same fucking problem. And based on like all these names that we see going into the company, and we see Ospreay win this awesome match that he just had against Bryan, and then regardless of how much it makes sense, nobody really wants to see him go for the international title. It's just that kind of situation. They've all got to fall into place somewhere, regardless of whether they're a big name and deserve a bigger spot or a better spot than the other. But yeah, it's just with a packed roster the way you have on both companies, like it's hard to book them the right way. So, I mean, in a lot of cases, you can't necessarily fault them like completely, but at the same time, it's just like, can we find something else better for this person?
And and that's another thing. Maybe the international, because see, when it comes to these new guys coming in, we always had a problem with new people coming in and going straight after the main belt on the show instead of progressing by ladder by ladder by ladder. Right now, I think an international match against Roddy and Will Ospreay will be a fucking instant classic.
Yeah, it'll be an instant classic, but it also makes sense because I mean, you want to put Ospreay in a position to where he's earning it not only in the company but with the fans. And if you've got him just going straight to the top, and it's enough to say that AEW's bookings don't follow their ranking system anymore, and they never really did. But them putting Ospreay in the situation with a mid card title, it helps in the sense to not necessarily to allow Swerve's title reign to breathe for a little while, but also, and I didn't mean to jump over to AEW, but I mean just that the comparison is there.
Yes, you did.
Okay, maybe I did. The comparison was there.
AEW work.
But you're right though, Jeremy, because it's a progression that has to go with AEW. Same thing as a progression as it is with WWE. Like we just don't want that because it actually makes the show look weak for somebody to come in. That's why I have a problem with Mercedes Moné coming in, not having.
Well, they hot-shotted the book out of the. They hot-shotted the fuck out of her coming into the company, but whenever then they've got on this role with Will, and they're stepping off of the gas a little bit and letting him develop a program. And that's what I wanted for him. Have a few great matches and then start a program. Have a few great matches, even with Jade Cargill and WWE. Have a few like squash matches, have a small program and then into a big feud going into a big pay-per-view. It's all in the matter of how you push them, instead of just having them squash after squash after squash after squash. Like at a certain point, give us something. Or there's only so many dream matches that the fan base is going to want to keep watching before there's more story involved.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I'm happy that they put him into an actual program where it was kind of an obvious selection of how he won this gauntlet match. Like, I think it was still a good idea to put him in that position. But like I say, there are too many. Both programs, both companies have loaded rosters, and they have to prioritize how they're booking them so they can maintain the stories that they have and can build on new ones later.
Yeah. Just as long as my thing is this, and I mean, and by the way, we're done with the WWE talk, and we're going back on some AEW stuff. And and the thing is, when it comes to AEW, it's just this. I'm always
for a dumpster fire.
I'm always for a great wrestling match, but in a way, I am like JD because I want story. I want to know how we got from point A to point B. How did we get here? Why
AEW's
is
got a
this match
nice story
happening?
with Swerve that they're not tapping into, and it's
Nope.
pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. They're
Will
just
they
showing him.
tap into
They're just, here's the new champion. Here, go have a random match. Here, a week later, here, cut this promo. Why aren't they tapping into the story of how he has had to toil away for so long and go to places to where he was not appreciated, or he got bit by the injury bug, I think was one of his issues in Lucha Underground,
Yep.
if I remember correctly. But there's just a natural story there, and we're just getting this random shit from Swerve because AEW's egocentric owner and favorite pets are getting to do whatever the fuck they feel like they want to do, and they're blind to the fact that it's hurting their product. They seem to just be laughing at the fact that there's nobody, that their attendance is dropping week by week. The ratings are dropping week by week. I know the ratings don't fucking matter, but it's a clear indicator of the barometer of your product as a whole being viewed and consumed by the wrestling community. And
Yeah.
when you're still, so they've clearly lost all the WWE people that jumped over, giving them a chance, and have now hopped back over since the Mania build. But it seems like their numbers are getting lower and lower and lower still. So our AEW faithful starting to drop off now. It's like, what's going on?
I think AEW faithfuls are going to be day one faithfuls. I think what's happening is that
But then how are the numbers still getting less and less and less?
Because that crossover crowd is moving away. And
well, I can tell you as a AEW day one, I've been to more AEW shows than anybody probably in this chat, in this stream. But
I've been to two.
All three of us combined.
Yeah. And so, like, ride or die. But in a lot of cases, I see what's going wrong. I know they're having problems. And if you don't see it, you're not looking. If you're not looking, like, you don't want to, or you're dumb and don't know what you're looking at.
And that's what pisses me off the most about Tony Khan is he won't address what's wrong. So it comes off as he's either lying to us or he's oblivious to it.
Yeah.
So either way, it's a terrible look. It's like, why don't you just give the fan base some truthful answers? Like, I get the whole wanting to just kayfabe everything, but in this case, the numbers are not kayfabe. The visuals on Twitter of empty arenas are not kayfabe.
No.
Oh,
right? Ratings aren't kayfabe.
Hold on real quick. Shout out to Flash Morgan Webster for the $30 super chat. He says, keep doing your thing. You and the crew are killing it, man. Love every second on the show. Flash.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Appreciate you, Flash, man. You are awesome, dude, man. Hey, glad to see you here all the time, bro, man. Glad you could be here to support the Bebe family, man, and what we do here, man. Love every single last one of y'all, man. Dude, guys, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to, I love y'all and everything, but
I'm sure my Cash App's on here somewhere.
Good shit, pal.
I'm trying to be serious. I got my boys. I got my boys. Don't worry. But I agree with you, Hooli, because like the whole thing, the story that they have was matter of fact, Hangman is coming back pretty soon. There's a story right there. So yeah, I'm sorry, Hooli. I'm sorry, but that is a story that could potentially happen when he does eventually come back. And I'm sorry. Wait. What was it?
This is my natural face when Hangman's
on.
This is
my resting thumbset face.
When I hear the name, my face just naturally contorts into that shape.
Mr.
Now
Clown
with that
Boy.
mustache, I'm just like, what is this?
Clown Man Page. He'll be back pretty soon. You know, they're gonna continue that little story for maybe a month or two before we
I actually have a list here of all the people in AEW out, both with injury and non-injury, and it's quite the list. We can make our assumptions on certain people, but Adam Cole's got a broken ankle. Bandito's out with a wrist injury. The Blade, lower back injury. Darby Allin, we all know, broken ankle. And hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Britt Baker.
Did you see who was back on Collision though?
Do what?
Roosh. Roosh was back.
Yeah, Roosh is back.
He's not on this
Phoenix.
list. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Roosh
they're
is
not
back.
on this list. Britt Baker is
No,
out with
I'm
back and neck
saying.
injury. Jamie
Cupcake
Hayter
Page.
with a shoulder.
Page, that's what Hooli called him. Cupcake Page.
Well, Hangman Page is out with a family matter. It states down low.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter's shoulder injury. Julia Hart with a shoulder injury.
there a
Jeff
length on
Hardy
them,
is a
Jeremy?
broken. What?
Is there a length on the injuries?
A what?
As far
I don't know. Jamie
like a
Hayter's been
length,
out
as
for a year. She had to vacate her
Well,
title.
as far as how long they're going to be out or anything like that?
No,
I feel like Jamie Hayter's been out for 2
it's
years.
it's just listing of that who's out with what.
Okay, all right.
And Jamie Hayter's out with a shoulder injury. Same for Julia Hart at this point. Jeff Hardy with a broken nose concussion. Juice Robinson, back injury. Keith Lee, undisclosed. Kota Ibushi, complicated foot, ankle injury. Mercedes Moné, ankle injury, returning May 26th. That's one of the only timetables to return. Mark Davis with a broken wrist, part of Aussie Open. Miro with a shoulder and elbow injuries. And MJF is out primarily with this torn labrum. So, I mean, based on how long he's been out, if his hip, nothing said about his hip.
That injury list is ridiculous.
Ortiz with a torn
pec. Labrum is going to probably need surgery too. So
that is a
he actually did say the other day, it did come out that he did opt to get surgery and either already has.
I'm pretty sure he's been out long enough to where he's probably already had it.
Yeah. Paul White, who doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, he's out with a knee injury. Powerhouse Hobbs is a knee injury. Ricky Starks has undisclosed injuries. Scorpio Sky, no, who? Scorpio Sky, undisclosed injury. Wheeler Yuta with an undisclosed injury. Yuka Sakazaki, what the fuck does she matter in the grand scheme of things? Leg injury. Non-injured. Hangman Page as a family matter. Drolistico has visa issues. Well, and this is Kenny Omega belongs on that list, which he's out for non-injury, but he has diverticulitis. Penelope Ford has a personal issue. Ruby Soho is legitimately pregnant, and Sammy Guevara is suspended.
Jesus.
So, yeah, there's a lot of people out.
That's like an entire company's roster.
Believe it or not, though, I mean, based on the show that we just saw last week and how they've still been able to maintain whatever semblance of a show that they have week to week, regardless of whether the creative sucks. I mean, there's a lot of people out that could add a lot more layers and depth to the stories that are already going on, but at the same, or even new ones. But it lays testament to how many people are out and they're still able to keep things together at the very minimum.
Because they have 500 wrestlers on the roster.
I mean, if you consider every fucking indie wrestler that comes into that company too.
Well, and then they have
on a dark match.
Pocket too, so.
Not to mention MJF is still out, but we know that's rest.
Yeah,
he's fixing to be out too.
In case his credit card gets declined, he's got this credit card. So
how funny was that interview with that little Twitter clip of him sitting at the table and Brock Lesnar guy standing there, and he calls him piss fetish guy. Bro, I died laughing so hard that shit. And the way MJF has his hair combed over, he looks like a little boy, right? And then he's just staring at the crowd. He's just staring at the camera after he calls him piss fetish boy, and you can tell he's probably trying not to laugh his ass off. But I was dead, bro, and it caught Brock Lesnar guy completely by surprise.
Hey, Hooli, did you see the picture that he posted with the hockey announcer guy, the hockey podcaster guy?
I don't think
he
so.
was just sitting. MJF, it was the hockey podcaster guy. MJF is sitting on the stool looking absolutely god awful and miserable. And with I guess it was the guy's wife on the other side of MJF. And MJF just flipped the camera off the hard, like the hard way, no diddy. But it was so funny with the hair comb over that you was talking about. And that loose ass blue shirt he had on with that
the hair comb over is what got me. And then when he called him piss fetish guy, and I'm looking at his face, I just lost my shit, bro. I literally belly laughed.
Okay,
I'm
so
like, AEW is sorely missing that guy, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
3/4 of that company's charisma went out the door when he left with injury. Seriously.
yeah, I guess Mojo Rawley is doing a TMZ podcast now.
Who?
Mojo Rawley.
JoJo's fat ass, man.
No, not
I'd
that.
watch a podcast with that.
But no, what was I saying? TK was actually on this show, TMZ Sports, hosted by what appears to be Mojo Rawley. And
good Lord.
he was talking about the whole
Oh,
comment
that's
that he
the
made.
friend of Rob Gronkowski, that guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mojo Rawley.
But he was making comment. He was commenting on what he had said on ESPN about the Harvey Weinstein comment, the comparison, and yeah. I just thought that was funny that TK
You know
bothered to
who
go on that
Mojo Rawley
podcast.
reminds me of? He reminds me of Ryback.
Um,
in terms of
body size and
his career, and how he was like a kind of like a quick flash in the pan type of character, and then was gone.
I can see that comparison.
You know what I mean? And now he's in the podcast world, trying to keep his name relevant because he probably has some delusional grandeur, thinking that he's gonna work for the other team now in wrestling. And it's like, bro, you're not gonna.
Hold
you're
on,
not
let me
wrestling,
just
dog.
send this to you guys, and just so you guys can verify this is Mojo Rawley or not. I'm gonna send it to the Bay chat.
All right. But that's fair. I can see your assumption on that one, Hooli. That's actually that's almost spot on, pretty fairly.
Y'all tell me if that's Mojo Rawley or not. Looks just like him.
All right. Let me see. Hold on. See, Tony Khan was asked about his comments compared to WWE to Harry Weinstein. What the fuck?
But the guy who's interviewing him is appears to be Mojo Rawley, or who used to be.
He has hair.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know. He's got a.
Wait, where did you send this? Am I supposed to be looking somewhere? I'm like waiting for it to
It's
pop
in the
up on my
Bay
screen.
chat. It's in our group
You're
Bay
staring
chat.
at the screen like an idiot.
He's got a Maryland Terrapins helmet, and he went to the University of Maryland.
You know who he looks like?
That's him. That's Mojo Rawley. He with the
You
Maryland.
know who he looks exactly like?
Who?
He looks exactly
I'm
like
trying
the
to-
dude that works for TMZ. That's exactly
yeah.
what
Does he
Mojo
really?
Rawley looks like.
Oh,
He
no.
looks like a TMZ employee. He
Yep,
looks like
he
Ryan
belongs
Satin's
there.
cousin, bro.
He looks like he belongs there for sure.
That looks like he's... Bro, if you wouldn't have told me that was Mojo Rawley, I would have literally saw this clip and been like, that's a TMZ worker that's probably been there for 20 years. They all look
Tony
like
Khan.
that. They all look like that, bro.
Wrestle Talk, as of a minute
see
ago, says, or at least posted, Tony Khan has commented on the absence of Kenny Omega, MJF, and Britt Baker in AEW, teasing that some great stars will be returning soon. Eyeball emoji. We can't wait to have a roster at full strength. Kenny Omega coming back to TV, even if he isn't 100%. Just seeing him will be so great. So, I mean, he's just saying just seeing him, even if he isn't at 100%. So, I mean, whether there's if they're just gaslighting us and he's actually ready or what, that's a big if. I don't necessarily want to put too much weight into that expectation. MJF, I'd love to get MJF back soon whenever possible. Britt Baker is another wrestler I'd love to have come back. Even then, with the list of injuries and what they are reported to have and the link they've already been out, I mean, it's hard to say MJF is going to be out, going to be back barely in time for All In if he's just having surgery.
That's fair.
Yeah, with a torn labrum. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be some kind of miracle if he made it to All In, actually.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
that'd be
I
like
mean, all of it,
that'd be like
That's only a
Bear Hill
couple months
type.
away. May, June, July. That's only 4 months
it's
away.
like
There's
4 or
no
5
way he's
months
gonna.
ago. Yeah.
When did he his last appearance was World's End,
Right.
and when was that? End of December, or was that in
Yeah,
January?
it was December 30th.
Well, that puts him at about 8 months. I don't know. With a torn labrum,
Well,
being
he
a
was
wrestler,
toiling
I don't know if
away.
you want to. He might be
He was
cleared to
toiling
wrestle.
away for a
However, I don't know
while.
if you want to stick him in a match of that
No.
magnitude fresh
Right
out
off the
from
Right.
bat.
that injury. I don't know.
He was
It's a
toiling away,
9.5
waiting to
month
see if
injury.
he was toiling
it's a
away,
9.5
waiting to see if any kind of healing was going to take place, but there was probably wasn't enough that would happen that amount of time. Good God, Stephanie. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's a 9.5 month injury, Hooli. Torn labrum is a 9.5 month. So
He usually
maybe
come back a bit early, so I could see him. Maybe he'll have an appearance there, but I don't know if
Okay.
I'd put him in a match that soon.
I say full gear. Wait until full gear to bring him back. Because that is too soon to put him in a match. I say wait until full
Is
gear.
Full Gear after All In?
Yeah, it's after All In.
Oh, Tony Khan's doing All In and All Out in the same week, back-to-back weekends
Again,
again,
yep.
isn't he?
Mhm.
Oh
Again?
my God!
2 separate pay-per-view buys.
Why? This dude is
Like,
out of
Just a little-
Is
Just
this
a
Is he
few
still?
going
hours
back to
ago.
Chicago?
Are we still paying $50 for this? Is it going to be a
No.
deal like they did last year? Fuck,
If y'all
man.
bother to get a VPN, y'all only have to pay $20.
I might have to do
I mean,
I
in
might
the
have to do
grand
that
scheme of
because
things, you're paying less for both than you would pay for an entire for $50 pay-per-view.
Cringe-worthy I don't
Um,
know who.
Well,
How did they ever
no.
explain why they decided to make that switch and make All Out and All In back-to-back weekends, and then to carry this on traditionally?
It's
Did they ever-
Memorial Day weekend, I think, that is the big
I
tradition.
think it's Memorial Weekend, and it's an attest to their version of WrestleMania. The two
Well,
nights.
what's
So
everybody doing Memorial Weekend? Everybody I know here in Oregon, they go camping, they have barbecues, everybody's
women-
outdoors. You're gonna have
women-
two pay-per-views, two major pay-per-views in the same week, back-to-back weekends on Memorial Weekend. Just seems stupid.
Yep.
That's-
A little bit.
and that is absolutely ridiculous, man.
How do you build for two pay-per-views back-to-back like that?
Again.
You've
So
got to
what-
have
what-
dynamic
What's up-
bits going
what's
on
up-
between the scenes.
What's after Double or Nothing? What
You've got
I thought it was All In.
All In is in August though.
well, they were doing for filler for a while. They were doing Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, but those ended up being just televised shows on a weekly basis. So, or at least just worked into the televised format. So,
Is Jericho still got his little thing going on? I don't know if Jericho's hosting his Rockin' Raging Cruise this year or what.
I thought he already
no,
did it.
he's doing it. Yeah, he's already doing that.
So you've got All In and All Out on consecutive weekends. Nobody's going to be watching a pay-per-view on Labor Day weekend. Then you've got Wrestle Dream in October, Full Gear in November, and World's End in December.
Oh yeah, Memorial Weekend is in May.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
May.
my,
So what,
my bad. I got
So
the
what-
It'll be Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day.
Still,
That's right.
So what
we
do we
feel
do?
you working.
yeah. So what do we have after Double or Nothing?
You got Forbidden Door on
Oh,
June
yeah.
Forbidden
30th.
Door.
Forbidden Door. Okay.
So you've got a 5-week build for that.
Which is not even long enough for a build.
And then
No,
you've
it's
got there's no pay-per-view in July. You've got basically 2 months until All In, but then you have All Out the following week.
That's what I don't understand.
Who posted that?
Oh my
You
goodness.
can't
So
build for All Out before you do All In. So you got 2 months of build for All In, and then
Future.
3 shows to build for All Out.
what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna add the bill for both shows in 5 fucking weeks? That's ridiculous. It's not even giving the stories, whatever stories you build, not giving the stories enough time to fucking breathe.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They need to have more time.
Make my face itch, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ray, man? Good to see you, bro. But you're not giving these stories enough time to breathe.
Yeah.
That's such. Oh my god. Oh my.
Wait,
god.
Cat TV is Kratos?
No, that's Ray Rosario. That's Ray.
Oh, I thought you called him Rain Man, so I thought it was Kratos.
No, that's Ray.
Yep. Labor Day is Monday, September 2nd. Nobody's going to be watching a pay-per-view on that weekend.
Oh my god.
No one's going to be home that weekend. That's why.
Nope.
I'm gonna be at the lake all weekend.
Especially if you just spent $50, I might be in the mountains all weekend. I don't know yet. Especially if you just spent $50 on pay-per-view the week before.
Oh my god! And see, this is what I'm talking about. It's not even much as micromanaging when it comes to AEW. It's just, to me, I just want to ask Tony Khan, like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You are here. You are there. You're up. You're down. You're right.
He's fleecing the herd. Ready. It's like.
Yeah, and even if they ask him what he's doing, he's going to kayfabe an answer, which pisses me off.
Yep.
So it's like, are you stupid and you don't understand what's going on, or are you lying to us? And obviously, I think it's a fair mix of both, but I think he just lies through his teeth to the fan base. And if he's not careful, that's going to turn the fans against him over time.
Thank you. 100%. I agree with that. Like I feel that the fans are slipping away little bit by little from Tony Khan because he's not doing enough. He's putting on the same
issue is, when Vince was in his heyday of lying and shit, we were all young and impressionable and didn't know no better. Then as we got older, we started catching on. Hey, wait, what we're seeing ain't matching what the owner is saying. Well, if Tony Khan thinks he's going to pull some shit like that with us, we're grown-ass men and we're older than him. So we see we see right through the bullshit, and he doesn't have a large enough fan base younger than him to, I mean, they might buy into what he's saying, but
well, and that's the thing that really, even though we all say that the reason WWE has such weird stories and obviously the PG and all that going into the aspect, they cater to children, and so even then, that is one of their biggest selling points and makes them more over in a global force, because I mean, so many kids are into WWE specifically because of how they market it, and so kids are going to be one of the most large fan bases that exist in this whole thing.
Yeah, the kids are the future, I suppose.
Yeah, he's running a show opposite. He's trying to counter JD's programming.
Yes, Tony Khan did hire that soap opera writer that got canned from WWE. But still, Tony Khan is not giving her no, hey, write this story out, do this story or whatever. Tony Khan doing everything for himself. And he's not going to relinquish no kind of creativity for anybody. Tony Khan wants to do it all himself. He's going to be the detriment of AEW. He needs to let other people take control of the show. Let Tony Khan.
He's running the company and running the show like a fan.
Pretty much. But and here's another aspect.
Kind of like watching. I mean, maybe he just likes watching them wrestle as much as he thinks that we do. But
then he needs to step down, go have a seat in the damn crowd, and watch the damn show. But no, he wants to sit there and run the show and do creative and a bunch of other 15 other fucking different things he want to do during the show, instead of taking a seat and let Nick and Matt run the fucking show, and you go handle the business aspect. Like
I'll turn that motherfucker off. I won't watch a single second of AEW if Nick and Matt Jackson are running it.
You don't want them to run the show. Find somebody else.
I know why Otis is saying that. He's saying for storyline purposes and to get TK out of the spotlight. I get that.
He's already said he can't travel, and he's going to have somebody there in his place, supposedly. because he can't
I mean,
travel.
hell,
So
even Vince stepped away and let Bruce Pritchard run the show, or Triple H stepped away and let Bruce Pritchard run the show, or whatever you want to say it. Like Vince didn't have to always run the damn show. Sure, he was there by video chat and stuff like that and stuff, telling people what to do and what changes to make on the fly. Why can't Tony Khan do that?
well, that's
Why?
probably what he's kayfabe going to do. And all things considered, there's more that irritates me about the situation. I mean, it leads into the women's division and how they've been keeping Mercedes off of TV at the moment, and whether she's injured or they're just milking this whole situation. Was somebody saying something? Okay.
Yeah.
No. They're seemingly milking this whole situation to make for damn sure that she's not injured anymore, or just giving her the proper recovery time. But they hot shotted her, bringing her into the company so quick to try and maintain some of those people who are getting jaded by the whole situation. But what leads me into this next thing, they've got Camille with this contract that she's apparently been signed with for a couple the last at least few months, and they haven't used her. They've had Megan Bain, which, good God, I want that woman in that company. She is so good. But who else? There was one other, but those two specifically, they've not been they haven't been using them, and they've got them on the payroll. So it's like, what are you doing? Are you literally just waiting for Mercedes just because these women come from Stardom?
And you know what? Claudio on Collision, Claudio was leaving after his match, and he said that he's no longer a shiny toy or whatever. He's more of a wooden toy that's hard to break.
Wooden toy, yeah.
That's hard to break. I want to see Claudio in a better storyline now. I want to see Claudio get out and do his own thing. I know he's with the Blackpool Combat Club and they're doing great and stuff. I think Claudio needs some time to shine a little bit. You know, where's Willa Uter? When is he coming back?
Hurt.
I think he needs to have.
He's on the injured list.
He's still hurt.
Yep.
Still hurt. Damn. You know, but still, you know, the other guys they need a little bit shine instead of keep repeating the same cycle every week on Dynamite, repeating the same cycle every week on Collision.
Right.
Let's get some of these
Guardian. Yes.
I want
Megan Bain. She's a bad bitch. She is a bad bitch.
Yeah, Megan Bain was cold with it. Definitely was cold.
Megan
with it.
Bain wrestled the boys wrestled on the boys wrestling team in high school where she was where I was head of security. Small world. She's a beast. That's yeah.
I like my women to have other kind of boulders.
Up top, listen, guys,
she's just thick. She's very thick, and she's very toned too.
Megan Bain is thick.
Guardian saying that legs like kegs and shoulders like boulders. I immediately think of Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace.
She's not built like that. Like Jordan Grace is built like a short ass brick shithouse.
Yeah, Megan Bain is soft, but she's big with it.
Not to be confused with Camille Brickhouse.
That's a whole nother situation, Camille. That, like, just watching her in the few bits of footage that they have of her in AEW where she's towering over what's her face the short girl that's in Ring of Honor.
Layla Hirsch.
Layla Hirsch, yeah, has her towering Layla Hirsch, and she's just not backing down. But no, just crazy to see that. No, I'm gonna send you guys.
Yeah, she's like 6'2" or something.
And you can't teach that.
She could probably.
Nope,
I'm sure she could. She could probably flex and body slam my ass. But I would let her though. I would let her.
She is the Megasis.
So, but I just hope that Tony Khan gets it together. And I don't want Tony Khan to be Mr. Pay-per-view, just like I don't want Triple H to be Mr. PLE. I want to see both companies, Raw, SmackDown, even NXT, and Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. I guess I want them to put on
The
compelling
pay-per-views
television.
aren't the issue. Who's going to claim the title of Mr. Weekly Television?
That's a good one.
Right.
That is. I would say next week we come back here next week and we can say who had that title for week 1. Because we know Raw was blah with the draft, and we know that Dynamite from last week. All shows last week need to be better. Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, Rampage, Collision. All of them need to be better than last week's. Because right now, like we always saying, we're older and we were younger back then to when we was oblivious to the stuff that was going on. But now that we're older, AEW and WWE need to understand that. Look, most of our long-term, crowd that was here with us since Triple H was wrestling, or since Big Show was wrestling, or Mark Henry, they're older, so they're going to get smart and hip to what we're doing, and we need to go talk to Hunter. Matter of fact, Triple H should understand this more than Tony Khan should. Tony Khan, people like Big Show or Paul White and Mark Henry, those former ex-WWE guys that's over there at AEW should go to Tony Khan and be like, we got some, we got our hardcore wrestling fans, and we got our fans that's been with us since day one when we were in the other company, and they know how shit needs to work. They know how these stories need to go, and for us to keep bouncing around on these stories, it's not going to make sense. And then Tony Khan is going to be met with backlash every fucking week on Twitter because he don't want to listen. That's my issue with AEW. It's the stories. Keep the stories going. They fucked up with Swerve last week. Don't fuck up with Swerve during this title run. Otherwise, we're going to sit here saying that maybe Swerve should have been, maybe Swerve should have had his own little thing going in the WWE. Well, now that Triple H is taking over, I know Triple H will take care of Swerve. But
I don't think that Swerve is going to be a transitional champion per se, but I think what they're doing is they're going to make his title run feel less than before they give it to Ospreay.
Oh man, I do not want Ospreay to get,
because I think the plan was, hey, the crowd's really behind Swerve. MJF is out. Let's push Swerve, and then Will Ospreay came in and just took the whole fucking joint over. And I don't think, as good as we all know Will Ospreay is, I don't even think Tony Khan could have foreseen Will Ospreay coming in and doing what he's done to this level.
Let me go ahead and mute that right there. I'll just mute that right there because I don't want to get copyrighted for that link right there. Yeah, Megan Bain is, oh my god, bro.
I've heard her name before.
She is an Amazon, bro. Like literally.
I'm also very excited for Julia. I think when I found out the other day she's half Italian, half Japanese, and she's from London, so she's got a British accent, that blew my mind.
Dude, just imagine the kids that she would have. Oh,
I've never seen, like, being Italian myself, I've never seen a half Asian, half Italian person before, so I thought she was very unique looking in general, and I remember looking it up because I was like, I can't tell what nationality she is. Like, I knew she wasn't just like white, you know what I mean? But like
American. She looks American just by her facial features. She looks American.
No, she doesn't look American to me at all.
To me, just by based on her facial features and her eye structure, she looks like she could be American. You know she's Japanese, but her nose says that she's Italian. Most definitely. But it's just she looks American.
Don't be racist.
Oh no, I ain't being racist. It's just observing the statistics of
what you trying to say about my nose, sucker?
I ain't trying to say about
He says you want to drink a bowl of water.
Dude, you look American too. I would have never known that you was Italian, Julio, until you just said something.
You uncultured swine.
I don't pay attention to.
I think I heard him say something about guineas the other night, but I don't know.
No, everybody always. Well, before I started getting my gray in my beard, like when my beard was like really thick, everybody always thought I was Arabic.
Really?
I can see that.
That's crazy.
I can see that.
He might. Well, his last name is Levesque.
He's French, actually.
French.
But that's funny.
Yeah.
Guardian with
Sid
the
says, "Konnichiwa, bitches." Don't forget to
Konnichiwa,
diversify-
bitches.
Don't forget to diversify your bonds.
All right, guys. Look, that's all we got for today. Rob is hitting me up. He's saying, "Are you guys finished yet?" We're finished.
No, Rob can kiss
No,
my ass.
no, we can go another 10 minutes.
He
Fuck
didn't
No,
even
I'm
bother to
like-
come in here.
I'm like,
Rob, kiss
ready
my
for
ass.
bed. I'm like 45 minutes after my bedtime, just for the people.
we can end the stream at 7:29
He's
or
he's
5:29.
doing NXT right now, and
Rob
JD's
thinks he owns YouTube.
I don't know. He might have a little piece in YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if he got some of that.
And
YouTube
nobody's gonna
stock.
stop what they're doing for you, Rob, baby. Especially since you don't pop in and say what up to nobody else.
Well, what's
You
this
goofy.
chump got? Like 39 followers.
Hey, Jeremy was calling Rob Jobby Rob Tay Tay. He was Jobby
Yep.
Rob Tay Tay a few weeks ago.
He's Jobby Robbie Tay Tay. All day. Every day.
I liked my name for him yesterday in this chat. I laughed at myself for calling him
He
that.
stopped by the chat for a minute.
Hey, he was in the chat. He was in the chat. I mean, it's not the same as being up here with
Oh,
the
well.
boys, though. You know what I'm saying?
He
Yeah,
can't
he's
try and
up with
come
the
on
boys.
on
I'm glad he did stop
live
by.
whenever we're on here.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
You guys say goodbye to
He did a couple times when he
Look at that face.
when he was working with them badass. What up,
Good job,
Cooper?
Rob.
But guys, that's gonna do it for us here on the
He's ready
Big
for
O
bed.
wrap up. Told you we got
Let's go to bed.
a lot to talk about, man. I want to thank my guys up here, man. Thank you guys that's in the chat. Special thanks to Rage and Flash, FMW, man, for the super
Yeah.
chats, man. You guys are awesome. Love every single last one of y'all. Before we go, Future, is there anything positive you want to say to the people, you and Coop? Y'all want to say something positive to the beautiful people out here, man?
Well, now that hopefully we're out of this holding pattern, the rosters have been set. Backlash is on Saturday. Next week, let's go, baby. Let's see how it translates.
All right. Hey, and
We're
right
gonna
here-
get all the roster members floating back and forth from show to show like they've always done.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of seems like what
Spoiler
it
alert.
may. I'm not gonna say that's what it's going to be, but I'm gonna say maybe up under Vince. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Now this is Triple H's first actual full year. We're gonna see if he's gonna keep things intact, and maybe we'll have a decent Survivor Series this match. Especially
Rob
with
was here as long as the Jade match
blood
lasts.
line. So what is coming up?
Oh,
Who
shit.
going?
Oh, he ran away.
So
Hold on, I'm still
uh,
here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, he ran. Oh. Go ahead, Hooli. We'll talk to
What,
the eye.
any
We'll
words
talk
of
to the eye.
wisdom?
Oh, I didn't even hear Otis. He must have cut out because if he was saying anything, it's been silent since Future was talking. So I didn't realize he was talking to me. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh
no, yeah. If you got anything positive to say to the people, a little bit of words of wisdom. We know that you're going live with Jess tomorrow. You can remind people of that as well.
Yes. I don't know. She didn't say for sure. But no, like Future said, we've got a little bit of direction now with these rosters. Let's see what happens. As far as AEW is concerned, I don't know. I don't really have any hopes for the company in terms of where they're going this year. I'm just taking it all as it happens, but it hasn't been very good from what I like from wrestling, in my opinion. I'm hoping, I'm giving it a chance, but they've really just missed me with pretty much everything they've done for the last couple of months. So aside from Swerve, but then they're fucking that up now. So
Hey, that's
don't know.
another question I want to before we get to Jeremy's positive words of endearment and what he got going on. Let me ask you three this: what's next for Samoa Joe?
It's another one they fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, they were kind of fucked whenever they put Swerve in contention for Joe's title. I mean, because ultimately, where's that going to put Joe in the first place?
I feel bad because the only place that Samoa Joe's ever been that I haven't said, oh, they fucked up with Samoa Joe was NXT.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with Joe. Maybe Joe takes a little bit of time off, come back, does something different, goes back after the AEW World Title, maybe a TNT. I don't know, but hopefully Tony Khan got plans for Joe. And let's go ahead with the mid-most mark. Your host of Decoding Kayfabe. Do you have something you want to say to the
Look at that
lovely people?
smarmy grin. Look at him. He loves just having his head all big and owning the whole screen without any of us on the side.
He looks like a spooky
Look
magician.
at him.
Right.
He's finally the star in his own movie. Look at him.
Well, I mean, I have so many people talking over me on a daily basis, so why not?
Hey, what's up?
That's the only way we're gonna get to talk, bro.
Hey, well, obviously I need to have my own platform for the shit. So anyway, no, as far as Raw and SmackDown, the draft goes, they have some direction, but it was just very lazy to me how they put everything together. But at the same time, they were focusing way too much on the dramatization and the pageantry and the optics to everything versus and how it could be compared to a NFL Super Bowl or NFL draft. Sorry. But I mean, ultimately, yeah, they have a little bit of direction. Let's see where they take it. AEW, what's to say about that besides creative needs work? Work. They got somebody else as far as their marketing team goes, and that is not wrestling oriented in the first place, so that's good. But ultimately, they need some work. As far as me goes, Decoding Kayfabe, I've got an episode in the works, but expect a live stream relatively soon within the week. I'll be putting something in your sub boxes for sure. Pause. I've got some
Slide
big things
into my
coming.
DMs, baby.
I'll slide it right into your DMs, sexy boy. No, I've got some. I was gonna do an episode last night. I was gonna have an episode filmed last night, but then I got on a roll doing some other things for the channel and stuff that'll actually, in my opinion, look fairly decent. Everybody on the panel here has seen it, including Dr. Evil Genius. But no, I'm just hoping for the best and expecting the worst, but we'll go from there.
Guys, much appreciated to these boys right here on the panel. These are my bros for life, man. We are, this is the fraternity over here. We're bonded together by wrestling for life, and nothing is going to change that. That goes for the rest of you guys that's in the chat.
Don't tell lies, Otis. Who benched my comment? Who benched my comment? Who benched my comment, bro? Who benched my comment?
Oh,
you can't be telling everybody I'm forever your boy and you benching my comments, dog.
Can't be benching Hoolie's comment. Nobody bench nobody's comment if you're part of the fraternity here. But y'all know what it is, y'all. This is the Big O wrap up. Part of the Bay family. We are better than the Don Callis family. That's going to be always. Oh, look at him combing his beard now.
This fucking guy.
You pompous bastard. How could you?
I'm going heel on everybody here soon. Just wait. Just you wait.
Jeremy, you realize you're doing this to yourself, right? We're not doing anything but just commenting on what we're seeing.
I know.
We're going to get up out of here. Robin's live right now. I believe Rage is live. JD's going to go live in about 8 minutes. Everybody's freaking live. I'm going to go check out everybody.
5:30. Holy shit.
Go ahead and throw a comment or two in there, man. Again, thank you to Rage and FMW, my boy Flash Morgan Webster, man. Thank you to everybody that's up in the chat, man. Thank you to Future. Thank you to the Midmost Smart German. Thanks to Hoolie. Man, y'all know what it is. Y'all make this possible, man. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep coming, man. I'm telling you. So, big shout out to my OKC Thunder. They defeated the New Orleans Pelicans, swept the New Orleans Pelicans, and now we await for the winner of Dallas versus the Clippers. Let's go Clippers. Fuck the Lakers. LeBron, go do something else. AD, you toilet paper thin bastard. You get bumped on the shoulder.
He's literally one of the most overhyped players I think the NBA has ever seen.
Jamal Murray with two buzzer-beating game-winning shots.
Jamal Murray is so fucking good, bro.
He's a beast. Jamal Murray's a beast.
Jokic and Jamal Murray are both him, dude. They really are. They're so good. Like when Jamal Murray got the ball last night and ran up the court, I was like, he's gonna hit the game winner. I just already knew. I already knew he wasn't gonna miss.
And Joker was wide open too. He could have just dished it. Joker gone in, but no, he took that shot and it went swish.
Yeah, bye-bye Lakers. Minnesota Denver is going to be fire, bro. I think it's going to be so good. Ant-Man's like my favorite player right now.
That's going to be Gunther versus Sheamus at Clash of the Castle, Minnesota and Denver.
Yeah.
That's how banger of a match that's going to be. And hopefully we get out the semifinals round and get in. I predicted the Thunder would get to the Western Conference Final at least. I didn't say they was going to win it, but if we whoever it is, if it's against Minnesota, if we get past the Clippers or Dallas and we play Minnesota or Denver, Denver's going to probably wipe the floor with us in probably 6 games. It'll be a full 7 game with Minnesota probably coming out on top, going against Boston. But it's going to be a good this is a good NBA playoffs this year. So KD got swept.
Some new blood, some fresh blood.
Right. Milwaukee is about to get sent home tonight, probably.
Indiana.
So
the Clippers, Indiana. Who else? Denver.
New York is probably going to kick Philly out. So
yeah, man. A lot of these are new teams.
New blood. New blood, guys. We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate you guys. Gentlemen, thank you guys for being here, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, for real.
No problem.
I will
have a good night, guys. Be safe, everybody.
We're going to go over and torture Robert for a little bit. Robert Tay, the #1 Swiftie fan in the world.
Robert Tay.
I'm going to go torture him for a while. Then I'll see you guys over in JD's chat for TNT with Ango as this guest host today. So until then,
yes, sir.
Yeet, everybody. Deuces is gone.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my own bleeding. Cut my life into pieces. I've reached my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding. Do you even care if I die bleeding? Would it be wrong, would it be right? If I took my life tonight, chances are that I might. Mutilation out of sight, and I contemplated suicide. Without losing my side, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. Losing my side, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine.
Welcome to the new era of the IWC. You want a place where you can be you? Do you love stories and long-term booking? Well, you have come to the right place. Hosted by your longest-reigning IWC Intercontinental Champ, 1/3 of the IWC Trios Champ, 1/2 of the IWC Tag Team Champ, and your IWC Undisputed Heavy